Yes.
Yes. Success.
We're live.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
It's the middle of the day. It's a random impromptu comic catch-up stream because this is a time that works for both of us. It's always like, it's like now or like super late. So
those are our options. Now or super late. Which would we prefer?
And the vibes change. So sometimes it really depends. I love that you have the Peacemaker fit on right now.
Yeah, I'm ready for Peacemaker tonight. I'm doing a watch along over on my OF, and I'm also probably gonna stop by Fan Expo today because there's the previews on Thursday, and I want to grab badges so that's just like done for the weekend. So I'm ready. But then I was also thinking I might stop by the Warner Brothers area to just like check out what they have going on and see if I can get any shots as Peacemaker. I have my helmet.
Yes, you sent me some helmet shots, and I was so tempted.
The helmet makes me look completely crazy though when I put it on. I feel like I look like a complete, as I should, honestly, as Peacemaker. If you're not looking completely crazy, like, are you even Peacemaker right now? So yeah, I'm very excited about season 2. As I think we've discussed before, I loved season 1. I think it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite shows, I think, period, like of all time, but definitely my favorite superhero show.
That's certainly high praise.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, honestly.
Jamal Breezy, thank you very much, is saying need to rock a Nightwing shirt.
Ooh, a Nightwing shirt. A Nightwing shirt would be pretty sick too, Jamal. I feel like, if Duck appears at some point, I would say we should save the Nightwing for Duck, because I've been trying to get Duck to cosplay as Dick with me as Babs. I feel like that would be really fun.
I love the cosplay you two did as Mr. Fantastic and Mrs. Fantastic. That one was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really, really fun. I think we're going to be doing that one this weekend as well at Fan Expo. So if anyone's around in Toronto at Fan Expo and y'all see us, do come over and say hi. I'm always hard to spot when I do things with wigs. Today is probably the only day I won't have a wig on. So otherwise, if you see me, you're going to have to try to guess
and be like, is that a man?
Yeah, I'm going to do, our plan is to do Friday to do Reed and Sue, which also, can I just say, okay, we haven't discussed these movies. And
no, we haven't.
We were a little bit in texting, but not face to face.
In depth. Yeah.
In depth. And so one of the things, obviously I was nervous because I had to have the cosplay made before. And I told you, and chat knows, that I surprised Duck with the cosplay. And I was like, wow, well, I hope this movie is good, because if not, I've invested a lot of money probably into something that, will I wear it again? But the movie, I loved it. And so I was happy that it was good. And then also it just made me such a fan of Reed and Sue together that I was like, wow. So it's so fun to be in the cosplay because I'm I just feel like we're so cute. I'm just oh, we're so cute right now. Everything we do is oh dear, can you? And when we were at the premiere in Toronto, when I remember at one point, Duck went to go get a drink or do something. And then I was saying to people, I'm oh, I'm just looking for my husband. I don't know if you've seen him. Mr. Fantastic. So yeah. And I also have some spray. So we were also able to gray his temples. So
nice.
Which actually I like. I think Duck looks good with gray.
I thought temples. It was a good look too. Yeah.
It was you should go gray. It would look good.
Yeah, but only in that. It's you have to do it specifically in the Reed Richards pattern.
Just in the Reed Richards way. But yes, so, oh my goodness. So that will be exciting. And then I think on Saturday, I'm going to do Malice. So I'm going to go from Sue being good to Sue being villain.
Is your Malice more comic Malice or more Rivals Malice?
It's Marvel Rivals Malice. Yeah, that one. So, so that should be fun. I'm excited for that. I wasn't even going to do a Malice cosplay, but I did say to chat, basically, if they funded it, if I was I'll put it up on my throne, and if it gets funded, I'll wear it on stream. And it got funded. And then I didn't think I was going to, I mean, why not? But then I tried it on too. And I was so I kind of actually love this. I wasn't expecting to be as big of a fan of Malice as I have become, but I initially really didn't. I've been really resistant to some of the Marvel Rivals skins. What do you think of the outfits in Marvel Rivals, Sasha? What are your thoughts?
It ranges. It really depends upon like who it is and what it is. And sometimes they do kind of duplicate like body types and stuff like that. I've noticed like for certain people. But on the whole, I can usually appreciate what they're trying to do or like where they're coming from for certain things. Yeah. But like there hasn't been one where I've looked at and been like, what is that? Like, why is that?
Why is that like that? I mean, I think the only one for me is Emma's main skin. But even then, like people were also, so we did a poll after I got the Malice cosplay going. And we did a poll to just be like, okay, who should I do next if we were to fund someone? And everyone was saying, I mean, one of the people, it was between Psylocke, Emma, and Squirrel Girl. And Squirrel Girl ended up winning the poll. But I was like, man, if I do Emma, I got to do this main skin because that's the only one they have on the site. And I was like, oh, it's so ugly. The only one that I've liked for Emma so far is the Phoenix one. But I don't know, because then maybe when I get it, and I put it on,
you might change your mind.
Might change my mind. I might be wearing it and be like, actually, I feel like this looks really good. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I do think definitely some looks are superior to others. Is Alvin in? Oh, Alvin is present.
Yes, Alvin is. Alvin's right here.
I was going to say he sounds near.
He's demanding attention as he tends to do. He missed last stream, so I know people will be happy to see him.
Alvin is great. Alvin is life.
Alvin is. Deeks Bogart, thank you very much. Just saying, whenever the Authority joins the DCU, I guarantee Peacemaker will say the most out-of-pocket stuff to Midnight and Apollo.
Oh, he definitely will, and I cannot wait for that. I think that's going to be great. How do you feel about, feeling like we're definitely going towards the Authority?
I feel like the Authority is an interesting choice. I felt that since they announced the like roster of things that we're supposed to be getting, I'm like, this is an eclectic bunch of things that we're going to be putting together. It could be like really interesting. I'm curious to see the take on it. That's always my thing. I'm like, I'll give anything like a shot. And I really enjoyed Superman. So I'm like, I think the DCU is off to like a really fun start. So I'm like, let's see where it goes with everything.
Same. I really loved Superman. I loved that, I think both of these movies are really cool in the sense that both of these are really cool in the sense that they're very optimistic movies. They felt very like there's a lot of hope and just like good feels. And I was like,
in different ways, but it was just, it was
very
nice.
Different ways. Yeah.
It was just like, I left both feeling good and upbeat and happy and like wanting to see them again in the theater, which doesn't happen a lot. Like there are like some films I'm like, that was good, but I don't feel like the need to be like, what if I came back, So, but I did feel that way with Superman. Like, sadly, I did not get to go back. And I know it's coming to streaming very, very soon. And there's going to be some like deleted scenes with it and stuff like that, which I am so
there is
the digital version. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that because I also really want to see that for Fantastic Four too, actually, because I know there's stuff that they cut. And
well, like sadly, I heard like from the director that for a lot of that's just not going to be feasible because they just didn't finish it because it was cut for like special effects reasons and time and crunch. So it's just like not done. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind seeing like storyboards and stuff. Like sometimes you get to see
whatever
like
they have.
The scenes.
Even if it's raw, even if it's like without the effects, but it's just like, a blue screen behind you or something. I still feel like it's interesting to just see like what was the concept of what you were going to do. Because I know John Malkovich was obviously cut from
Yes, he didn't make it. The Red Ghost didn't make it.
Yeah. And I would have liked to see what he was going to do with the Red Ghost because I'm sure it was just like a little bit, but I still feel like it's fun. I like that both of these movies made cuts to really hone in, like they're not bloated. That's the thing that's also really good though. But then it does make you curious of like, Okay, but like show me what we could have also had, because I want to see what you were planning.
Let me catch up with all of you in the chat.
I also see some highlighted comments over on my Twitch side. And I just want to let you guys know I do see the highlighted comments. I have my chats also open separately and our merge chat, so I see everything. When we chat, it's obviously a little bit harder to shout everyone out, but thank you for the highlighted comments, Rapala and Cherry. I see y'all, and I appreciate you being here.
That's me, because I have the master like thing, so it's like they don't show up highlighted on my end, like on the Twitch side.
They do not, but I see them and I'm reading them as we're chatting. So just know if you highlight something, I will see it. I did see someone say earlier that Peacemaker is confirmed as bi in season 2 of Peacemaker. Peacemaker was confirmed as bi in season 1 too. It was I was like, yes, add to the bi babe roster. Also why I love cosplaying Peacemaker, a fellow bi babe.
How many episodes are they dropping them all, or is it a weekly thing? I haven't been keeping up.
Weekly. It's going to be weekly. So episode 1 is tonight, and it's just episode 1. And thank the Lord, because I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of tired of these like this is like the first 3 or first 2 episodes. Like with Ironheart, they did basically like the first half and then the second half. And I'm just like,
you're tired.
I'm tired. Please stop overwhelming me with content, because I'd like to savor it. I'd like to enjoy it. I haven't even finished Sandman because I got to watch the second half of it, because I don't want to binge Sandman. That's not
you want to sit with it and think about it, and like
I want to reflect. I like to sit with it. So it's weird because people will ask me like, have you watched this yet? And I'm like, I'm getting to it. I need to like mentally be in the space. I did watch all of Eyes of Wakanda though. I've been watching like an episode a day for the last 4 days, which was cool. That was cool.
I've been catching up a lot on reading things, so I'm behind on the watching front. So I'm rewatching Onisama-e, like an old anime in like my spare watching time, because like mostly I've been reading because I want to do a couple of kind of video essay type things for certain elements of the absolute universe that I think are interesting. And there have been a couple of things that have happened lately that I think are really good ins to kind of approaching, especially some of the absolute villains. And they're doing an absolute villain like one-shot special coming up soon. So I'm like, I want to like get to that and discuss some of those exciting things that are happening as we hurtle towards an event that, gosh, I hope at some point they call Absolute Crisis, just because.
Yeah, I think I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up on both sides of the big two. It's going to be crazy. I feel like everything we've been building with Absolute has been glorious. And I can't wait to see like where else we go from here. Yeah. I mean, I'm like a little nervous though. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want to just like let it keep going for a bit. I see some people are confused about Sandman in the chat. Yeah, just to clarify, Sandman from DC, originally from Vertigo. Vertigo's DC though, so same.
Yeah, you mean like new Sandman, because now that Wesley Dodds is doing stuff again, like people actually can think about Wesley. I'm like, Golden Age Sandman in the house.
Golden Age Sandman. I know you've been reading the Wesley Dodds stuff. How has that been? And yeah, not Sandman from Spider-Man. Sandman is a Spider-Man
different
villain.
Yeah, not that Sam, not villain Sandman.
They're completely different.
I have like I read the mini that they did. They finally are collecting the second compendium of mystery theater. So that's coming out at the end of this month of the like really gritty like 90s stuff. So I'm really excited that this is the first time it's gonna have finished being collected. They've tried to collect it twice before and it has not finished. So this time it's finishing. I'm like, guys, it's happening. I feel like that awesome like Office clip. It's like it's happening. So
finally made it.
So I'm excited for that. Been keeping up with a bunch of I'm in kind of like a really like retro golden age mood. I started a project, a foolhardy project that I am excited to see through to completion, hopefully. And that is going through the classic crises leading up to the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And so there's a lot of them, but I'm having a good time. I just dropped the first one yesterday. So
nice. What inspired that? Was it the new like DC Universe history that made you want to go
No,
back?
it wasn't.
Or
It wasn't
just
that inspired it. It was just that they keep like flirting with the idea of like, ooh, like maybe we're leading up to like another crisis. And whenever I see comments that people are like, oh, like DC and its crises, I'm like, they're actually, it's really old. They've been doing this for a really
for a
long
long time?
time. Like that
This is true.
first crisis on Earth 1 is 1963. So I'm like, this is just like a thing that they do.
We
So
did,
I thought it
however,
would be
say
fun.
we were going to have the last one, and then we had another one after.
Well, they said they
So
were going to have the
there's that.
last one like over a decade ago when they called it Final Crisis. So
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's what I mean. We've been. I guess we've kind of been saying it for a while though. So it's like one of those things of like everyone is the last one until the next one.
Exactly.
It's how you
It's
need to
not
look.
over till it's over. So
It's. I mean, it's not over as long as the
well, it's
history
because like
is going.
we have a bunch of events. Like this was the recent special. There are more specials that are coming because like also this cover is a filthy lie. There is not Booster Gold in here, which was very sad. So if you go there and are like, ooh, my boy Booster, don't let it trick you. Based on
Don't let it
this
trick
cover.
you.
That's cover bait. So
Man, I hate that cover bait. What do you think is worse, thumbnail bait or cover bait?
I think they're shades of the same. They're shades of the same. It's an evolution of the same tactic. So.
I've been doing it for years. The bait has always been there. Also, Jagran, I saw 12 minutes ago you apparently cheered with 5 bits. Thank you for the bits over on Twitch. I need a helmet, as you were saying.
She has it. It's glorious.
I promise I'm not wrecking Peace. I'm only making Peace, okay? Peace at any cost. But we're not going to wreck it. We're just going to make it. But yeah, I'll show you. I'll put it on really quick.
Yeah, do it. They need to see. They need to see the entirety of it. There it is.
There it is. That's a helmet for you.
Yes. I'm always impressed by how well you're able to maintain that hair after. I was just saying, like, I'm always so impressed how your hair stays so, like, still not crushed and stuff after you take it off.
Yeah, it is hard if I'm, like, on the con floor and I'm taking it on and off a lot. It's like, I'm always like, oh, man, my hair is going to get so messed up. Yeah, that is a thing. I feel like, you know what's a weird thing? That's something we've never explored in the show. Chris never has like helmet hair. He never has helmet
hair.
That's
part of the fantasy. You could just run around and take helmets on and off and masks, and there'd be no like glue or gunk or anything. No, it's all fine.
It's part of the superhero fantasy for Peacemaker. Exactly. It's like you could be dressed up like this, be taking a helmet on and off, no helmet head. That's the fantasy you want to live, right?
No, that like forget all the other elements. That's the true power fantasy right there.
It is. It is perfect hair at all times. Is honestly, that's quite the power. That would be a cool mutant power. I would take that mutant power.
So what have you been keeping up with reading wise?
So reading wise, I just finished catching up on Absolute Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And right before stream, I was getting caught up a little bit on Jeff the Land Shark issue number 2, because I'm trying to get caught up on my Jeff and Crypto. I wanted to do videos for them with each issue, which I might still go back and do and just compare like the issue 1s, the issue 2s to see like who's the bestest boy in each issue, like which one wins. Although really I'm just winning because I get it's both true.
We're the winners.
We're the winners, really, yeah. So yeah, I've been doing that. Absolute Green Lantern was crazy. Issue number 5.
Yes. No, it's really starting to pick up and come together at this point. And I've really been enjoying the Green Lantern one. I'm really excited by the teases of Obsidian that we're starting like to get. So I'm just like, please, come on. I will take Absolute Obsidian. That would be awesome.
What about the new ones that are coming out? Is there any that you're like excited for with the new Absolutes that we're going to be getting? Is the Green Arrow one going to be a one shot or is that an ongoing?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a
Yeah.
one-star because I honestly did not keep up with the announcements that were coming out of like San Diego
Mm.
Comic-Con and stuff like that because I was deep in research mode. So I only saw like I saw like the synopsis of like what it was going to be about, then kind of like clocked it, put it in the back, and then just like kept going with what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, add it to the list. And then like,
Yeah, just add it to the list. I know. I basically at my shop, I'm just like, if it's absolute, I want it. That's
and
all.
then just put it on the list. No questions asked.
Oh, it looks like on the wiki, they're saying that Green Arrow is going to be a 6-issue mini currently.
See how it goes type thing.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Like, it's weird because Martian Manhunter is also listed as a limited and it's going to 12.
It was, but then it expanded because of
Yeah.
how the reception to it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that that's incorrect and that it'll go on, hopefully indefinitely, hopefully no end in sight for our boy Martian Manhunter. Thank you, Moondragon, for becoming a member. Happy 12 months. Oh my goodness. Happy year.
I can see that one. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for being a member for a whole year. Wow. I appreciate that. I'm also going to be having I'm going to be having when I watch the Peacemaker episode tonight with folks live, I'm going to be filming my reaction as well. I'm putting it up for members. So if y'all want to check it out, I'll probably be losing my mind the entire time. I heard the previews I've heard are amazing. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been. I mean, okay. So I was reading Ryan North's Fantastic Four before I did my year off where I just collected indie for a year. And so that was one that I had to like kind of let it go because I only kept, I think, Scarlet Witch. Oh no, I only kept Nightwing. That was the only series that I kept during the year off. So I had to let it go. So I'm now kind of going back with the trades and trying to catch up a bit and on my Marvel Unlimited to catch up with FF. And that has been so good. I've really, really been loving Ryan North's Fantastic Four. And I'm like sad that I had to let it go because I'm like, oh, the Alex Ross covers are so beautiful. Like, yeah, I get them in the trades too, but you know,
I know it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Ben Chan, thank you very much for saying, who are y'all's fave characters in Peacemaker? And why is it Vigilante?
Oh my goodness. Vigilante is really good though.
I do actually genuinely like Vigilante. So
Vigilante's great. And I actually watched a reel the other day where the actor was reacting to just like all the thirst for Vigilante. And he was like, I don't know, like, I don't even know how to respond to this. But I think actually my favorite character is, and I just need to look up her name off the top of my head, is Daniel Brooks, who is Amanda Waller's daughter in the show, who's played by Leota Adebayo. I love her as an actress too, but I think she's actually my favorite character in it, even though obviously I love Peacemaker.
You're going to have to let me know how White Rabbit is when she shows up, because I've heard that they're doing White Rabbit things. I'm like, well, now that she's one of the characters I'm keeping track of, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, Adebayo is the character. Oh, you're right. Yeah, Adebayo is the character. Sorry, I messed that up. Played by Daniel Brooks. I love Daniel Brooks. She's really good, though. Thank you very much for the correction.
Comrade Mom is saying Vigilante kind of looks like an off-brand Power Ranger, and that's kind of hot. That's a great comment. So.
I love that. And yeah, like off-brand Power Ranger is a hot look, is it not? Yeah, I agree.
There's many an off-brand Power Ranger, an off-brand Voltron, all kinds of things that we could be looking at. Oh, because I finally remember that, like, the name of it, like the Immortal Legend Batman thing is starting soon, and I'm excited for that as well. There's a bunch of things that are starting that I'm just like, oh, I really need to implement that thing that we've talked about before, of like doing like rapid fire kind of like reviews on shorts and those kind of things / TikTok, because I just cross post whenever I do things for that. So
I need to do that too. I'm like, it's hard because, you know, what happens to me is I'll like get reading and then I have so many that I'm like, oh, now I feel like overwhelmed because
I can't do like,
you get, I gotta do 2 and then I'm like, now I gotta do 20.
No, it's like you get like choice paralysis, you know. It's like, so instead of even doing the 2, which would be good, it's like, well, I'll just do none, you know. So
because I'm like, where do I even start now? Now I have like a pile of comics I want to talk about. I actually had a pile. My pile right now is like this tall, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put these away. Like, I'm not even gonna. Some of them are so old now. I'm like, is it even relevant? Like, I don't know. Do people even care? I don't know.
Yes, they do. Because like the thing is, not everybody is keeping up like month to month, day to day. And like there's always people like coming in, jumping in. I always get the question of like, like, oh, where do I start? And my answer is always like, just do it. And I'm like, I need to follow that advice. Just do it. Like, don't let your dreams be dreams. I too have a pile. It's like beside me. A bunch of like, I have like the sisterhoods are here beside me, which this is good timing because that character is now in the main Hyde Street books, which is fun. I have this Flash here taunting me, and now next week is the next issue of this.
I don't have it here, but the other thing I've been reading is Batman Hush 2.
Oh, you're still on the Batman Hush 2.
I'm still on it. Yeah. Are you still following, or check out?
Next month they're already dropping Batman #1 with the blue costume and stuff. So.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting new Batman, and Batman Hush 2 is still going on. So I guess delayed, it's like so. Yeah, it got surprise that it got delayed. We all knew it was going to happen. I don't think I have any Hush 2 in here because that's my other pile. But yeah, I've been reading that, and then I've also been reading Battle Beast as well. So Battle Beast.
Oh, I picked up a new one. What was it? It's not here, of course. It's downstairs. But I picked up Escape, the new Rick Remender one with like the World War II like anthropomorphic like thing. So that one was fun. I liked that one a lot. So
I love the stock for Battle Beast. That's like one of my favorite things about it. It's got that good image stock,
Yes.
Smells good too.
It's the same with Sisterhood, which just feels nice and solid, just holding. And it's also matte, which I appreciate when I'm holding things up on camera, so I'm not blinding everyone with the glare.
So you don't have to be like, let me just like angle it. I also have Exquisite Corpses.
Is that 4? That's 4, right?
Yeah, this is 4. This is the one that I think this one just came out. I think I still have to read 3 though. I didn't read 3. I was trying to remember. 3. Did you like it?
3 was a bit much for me, actually. I actually had one of those moments where I'm like, I don't know if I'm in the headspace where I can be reading this at the moment. There was something that happened in 3 that was just like so viscerally upsetting to me that I was like, I don't know if I can handle this right now. I might need to come back in like a few months.
Yeah, no, I feel you that. And I mean, I guess the thing with Exquisite Corpses though, at least, is that I think at least it kind of does set up the premise that like there's going to probably be moments for all of us, I think, in that series where we're going to be like, wow.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Because it's just going for it.
It's been interesting because I was reading, it wasn't an interview, it was more like a conversation between him and like Kieran Gillen about like the crafting of this and how it's also going to be a game. And so kind of trying to craft something where all the characters are visually interesting enough that even if they die early on, you still might want to play them in the game. And so like I found that to be very fascinating because like there is such a heavy emphasis on like the stylized look of all of the characters. And I was just like, that's fascinating. It just got me thinking about it. So Kofi, yeah, I've been reading seasons too. I do like the seasons. The latest seasons came out this week and now there's a trade as well. Somebody was joking though. They're like, it's a miracle that there hasn't been a delay. I'm like, it's true.
Jamie Lamey is reminding me that I need to get my pre-orders in for the crossovers. I need to. It's hard because I just need to figure out like which covers I want.
Oh, have you not decided?
No, because like I keep seeing multiple that I want, and then I'm like, but I don't really think I need to get multiple. Like I don't know. I might, maybe I'll let myself get multiple for like one, maybe. I'll grab what's there. I'm basic like that. I'm like, which cover do they have left? And that's the one that I will grab. I can live with all of them. I don't think there's any that I looked at where I was like, no, I couldn't look at this. So yeah. I mean, they're all going to probably be pretty collectible for anyone that, likes to collect and potentially like bank those comics for later. So
Dexter, thank you very much, is saying they are going to do a DCU Wonder Woman movie instead of the Authority movie. I will see what happens. I trust nothing till it's in my hands. Whatever arrives, I will be checking out because I like seeing interpretations of things. Amanda's like, I'm on the case. I can see like
I'm just looking it up to see.
He's like, I don't trust.
I haven't heard that, but I may have missed it.
I know they are going to do a Wonder Woman thing. I heard that got bumped up though to do more.
Yeah, it does say. I'm seeing it on Reddit here where people are saying that it got canceled. I don't know. Is this from?
We'll see, because sometimes that happens, and like a few days later, James Gunn comes out and is like, guys. So it's like we'll see, either or.
Yeah, James Gunn is like, I feel bad for him because I feel like he's also just like, I had to like kind of stop just coming out and like saying stuff because it was getting to be like just too many things that I had to come out. The one that I saw recently too was like the message from Superman's parents and Superman.
Oh yeah.
That people were asking him, but like, is it real? And he's
like, yeah, they were asking that a lot.
He's like, I don't know how else to tell people that it's real. Like, we really tried to make sure that it was clear in the movie through multiple ways to tell you guys that it's real. So yes, it's real.
It's funny because like I always appreciate when creators come out and state their intent. I think that's very helpful and it's good. But I'm like, in no way does it erase what the fandom's going to think or the validity.
Well, your headcanon still can exist. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Because for me personally, I do think it's stronger narratively if it's not real. Just like I think
it's all fabricated, basically.
Like maybe just
or misunderstood.
I would actually have kept some of it, but dialed it back a tiny bit. I would have cut just before harem. I would have like taken it of like just taken it that they're arrogant and more like, like they look down on, because like to me that pushed it into the realm of like just a bit too far personally. But and just in general, I think it's more interesting when both sets of his parents have like strong good values for him, because then it makes the fact that he has adopted those earth values so much, in my opinion, more relevant and stronger. And also just because of some of the other theming they were discussing around some of like the messaging that the movie was going for, then having the message actually be like, yes, they did send you here to conquer, and that's true, I don't think gels as well with some of the overall messaging. But I'm like, overall I think it's totally fine, and I'm glad that he said that so people can discuss where they're at with it in context of it being the intended canon. But that doesn't negate the ability of people to have those discussions. Because I do see sometimes when creators come out and say, like, this is what I meant, some people are like, well, then you can't have another opinion because, like, that's it. I'm like, well, no. Like, you can still talk about it.
You can still have another opinion. Yeah. And I mean, I think it's also just the thing of like so many people have been being like, well, like, where is that going to go? And like all of these things and like all of these theories. And he's like, that's not really what like the point was in the film. Like,
well, I get that. Like,
you
could. Wasn't the point, because like you can look at it and like obviously it didn't matter. Like that wasn't the point.
Yes,
like that's not
the point of what we're trying to say with what happened.
And like that wasn't the point. But at the same time, by making the message as extreme as he made it, then you can see why people focused on it. Like, hey,
people are like, right, but where is that taking us? Like,
like,
is
spread
there
your
going to be
seed?
something?
It's kind of like if you would just cut it at like, you're better than these people and you should guide them. Conversation over. Like,
I actually really like how the message though is kind of cool, because it's like there's kind of two sides to it, because at the same time they are also saying like go there and like do good and like help these people, but it's also like because like you're the best, so like you could just,
like we're better, even though our planet
you could rule them, and like it's not necessarily like ruling them in a way even that's like I mean obviously free will is important, so all of that is still true, but it's more of the sense of like even they're kind of saying it like from their arrogant mindset of being like, because like we're better than them and like we'll actually make the planet better, like we're actually going to improve it.
What's really funny, I'm seeing in the chat people are talking about something that I saw come up right after, which was, why didn't Supergirl tell him? Like, and so then there was a whole extra thing of how I was thinking about that too, because then they had to explain like, oh, because she did. I'm like, you see, but if she had just been raised in the headspace of we're just a bit better, and you would cut it before harem, like it's like everything is easier to explain if you cut it before that joke. I feel that way about some of the jokes in general in gun films, that they just a person sometimes to kind of like dial it back. But again, like that's just my personal taste for the level of juvenile humor. Not everybody agrees. I talked about this when I streamed just like general reactions to the movie, and I got some pushback just in terms of like, I can't believe you're trying to ruin this movie for people. I'm like, I'm not trying to ruin the movie. I just have a different.
You're just talking about your personal taste. Like I can see exactly what you're talking about, where like because it pushes it to this like kind of ridiculous like level, it makes it feel like, well, then there's a bunch of questions about like, why wasn't this brought up? And
It
And
asks
because
more
it's so
questions,
extreme.
and it invincibles it as well, which if you don't do
Yeah.
that, you run less into invincible territory. So
Exactly. So it allows the world to stay a little bit more unique, because it's true. Invincible is
and the
already
one
like
thing,
doing
because
that.
like, okay, so in terms of like making it clear in the movie, because like Mr. Terrific is like, they wouldn't release it if it wasn't true. And I'm like, that's just not a statement that most people are going to be able to get behind. They've released things that aren't true tons of
I
times. So, like,
know. That was the thing where when they said that, I was still skeptical, because even though it was like, well, I believe that, that's not something that you would say unless you believed it.
mhm.
However, just because you're the smartest guy doesn't mean that I can trust
Also,
that that's the
it's
truth.
Lex. So I'm like, I'm naturally gonna question Lex, which
Of
like
course,
you
as you
should.
should.
Like,
As you should. Should we
I hope
not
we get
all
to see
question
so much
Lex?
more of Holt's Lex. I adored Holt as Lex.
Chemdog with the highlighted comment over in the Twitch chat
Mhm.
says, how dare you have your own opinion?
It's not
Laughing
allowed, okay?
face.
And the
How
other thing
dare
too
you?
is I think this is important with discussions is that you can dislike a certain aspect of something and still enjoy the whole, just like you can like a certain aspect of something and still dislike the whole. Like it's just
You
like
can. You
it's
can.
multifaceted, like for me, that's just something that I think about in terms of the movie. But overall, like I really enjoyed it. Like I had such a good time,
And you can have like differing opinions as well on it.
Mhm.
Like you can have
Or
like
different
like
aspects of it.
yeah, like I think the harem thing is fine, but I see the points that you're making of like, but then it kind of puts it in this like other realm once we cross that line. And I'm like, that is true. Like I definitely see that. Like it didn't bother me. However, that doesn't mean that you don't have points. So that's the other thing that I always think is so crazy. People are like, well, I don't think that, so therefore this can't be so. And I'm like, no, we
Or
don't
that
have to agree, but everyone can have
Yeah, or that
points.
like if somebody is telling you like their like different opinion that they're trying to convince you. It's like, no, you have to come
I'm not
around. I'm
trying
like,
to
a
convince you. I'm just
conversation is
sharing.
not a battle. It's
It
just like a
doesn't have to be a
discussion.
fight. We don't have to fight. We can. I know that was the other thing. I think I said when I did my Superman review, I was
Mhm.
talking about how this was like one of the most divisive like films, and that was so like surprising to me. And I was talking about because I think so many people have different interpretations of what Superman represents for them as a
Mhm.
character. And so there were a lot of people coming to it that were like, oh, like I see this and that speaks to me, or I see this and that speaks to me, and seeing different things. But then also there's of course the people that like something that is totally different than what James Gunn is presenting for like his perspective on
Mhm.
Superman. And because Superman is such a storied character who has been around for so long, since the beginning of DC, it's like all of these things are valid. Like we're all
Mhm.
allowed to have different things that when we see Superman, like that we think of that speak
Mhm.
to us for that character. So I was talking about that, but then everyone was just like, if someone doesn't like it, it just means they're on like a severe political spectrum or something. And I was like, okay, that's not what I'm talking about, first of all. But also, like, we have to be careful of just dismissing people like that, because
Yeah.
everyone has an opinion, and whether or not you agree with it, it's out there. We're all allowed to have them.
And
Uh,
I don't think it's a good idea to categorize any opinion you don't like as like automatically coming from a certain headspace. It's
and
like it
like a
might be coming
bad
from that
opinion.
space, but that's not a guarantee,
That's not a
like at
guarantee.
all.
And it's also like, creating this idea that like, I guess people were thinking that what I meant was like, if you don't like Superman, like they were basically saying like, if they don't like Superman, then they're in this camp and they're just like, they're
Mhm.
just wrong. And I'm like, right. But if we do that, then you see how that creates problems for all of us moving
Mhm.
forward. So we need to be mindful to not say, just because we don't agree, you're wrong.
Mhm.
However, I'm not even talking, like, I love that everyone jumped to it being like a political thing. I'm like, I'm not even talking about politics. I'm just talking about like the character and how Superman, to some people, the whole idea of even Superman being a vulnerable character, I think for
Mhm.
some people was like
Yeah, some people were taken
challenging.
aback by that
Hmm.
end speech where he's like, I like, where he breaks down. It's like one of the things that I really like that scene because it highlights
So do
how much
I.
of a man Superman is. Like he's a person. And it really is a great contrast between how Lex sees him because Lex doesn't see him that way. And so it's like that's why it's such a good moment to have him break down like that in front of him and also for it to not have an impact for like it not to,
Yeah.
to change what he thinks because it's just so ingrained. Like I thought that scene was great. Like that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And I really
agree.
like even for the things that I personally didn't enjoy, I loved that the film had such a distinct voice and felt like such like it does feel like a James Gunn Superman. I'm like, I think it's good that it feels like it has an identity, you know? And I like that about it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the thing is we've had a lot of media that has been kind of devoid of soul a little bit, in the sense of like it's trying to do superhero stuff for the sake of doing it, as opposed to really thinking about like, what are we doing here? Like what do I want to say? What do I want to do? What do I want to create? And so I like that there's a sense of vision. I mean, the thing that I like about both of the movies that we've gotten recently is that there's a strong sense of vision, I think, in both of those films, like aesthetically, stylistically, in terms of just like the way that people even act in the film, the way that the story unfolds. So that's nice, because it's like, even if you're like, oh, that's not my style, it's like, at least it has a style. Like,
Yeah.
thank God. I like that Lord Monk said in the highlighted comments over here on Twitch, after cellophane logo encircling the earth for time travel, my suspension of disbelief threshold is pretty high. Yeah, this is true. And we just recently watched it in my Patreon. We did Superman 2.
Oh, nice.
We did a watch along on the Discord, and man, yeah, suspension of disbelief is, after you watch that movie, you're like, anything is possible. Anything's possible.
Oh, I think the next thing I'm going to be rewatching is probably Crisis on two Earths, or like two worlds, just because we're in like that crisis headspace, and so
Is that that's the animated?
That's the animated
movie,
one,
right?
yeah.
I still have to watch that. People keep asking me like, "Have you seen this yet?" I'm like, I'm so not in the animated universe.
You know
guys.
what? I'm about to propose something that neither of us has time for. We should watch it together.
Oh, I would love that. Let's do that. We don't have time, but we could find time. We'll make time. And also, we still have to do. I still really want to do. We have to figure out how we would do it. But I still really want to do a.
I know. It's like you sent me an idea
Batman.
that was like so chill, and I sent you back like a super complicated. Like
you were like, here's what I'm thinking, but I'm like, I'm good to do it either way. Like we could do it chill, we could do it less chill. It's whatever. I mean, we could also do it both ways. We could just watch it and record it and do it chill, and then do a discussion after, and then go deep on it. Because I like both of those things. Both of those things is good.
I know. I like anything
yes,
that
rest in
makes
peace, Terrence Strong.
I like anything that makes more work for me.
Terrence
so.
Stamp. Yeah. Yeah, Terrence Stamp, who was in Superman 2, passed away.
Yeah.
Sad.
So we talked briefly about Superman. So where are you at with Fantastic Four?
I loved Fantastic Four. it was like so I didn't know that I was going to the premiere until like kind of last minute. So we'd already booked our tickets to go watch it on the Thursday. So we went and watched it like the premiere was on like the Wednesday, and then we sold our tickets for the Thursday. So Duck and I still went to go see it. Like we were like, well, do we like try to give our tickets to someone else? Do we like try to get a refund? Like, do we still go see it? And I was like, well, let's go see the premiere. And if we like it, then maybe we'll want to see it again. And we finished the premiere, and I was like, oh yeah, let's just see it tomorrow. I just want to see it again. I had so much fun. And then people were like, are you still going to dress up? And I was like, no, because I think I already dressed up for the premiere. So like, you can't go bigger than that. So it was like, they gave us shirts at the premiere that were like Fantastic Four shirts. And they gave me an extra large so I could wear it as a dress, which I love.
Oh, nice.
So I just wore that and just like chilled. But man, yeah, I love, like, I think I need to own both of these movies on.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
DVD
That's
or
how I
Blu-ray.
feel. Yeah, like physically. I'm like, these need to stay with, they can't take them from me. So
yeah, they can't take them, because I loved rewatching it, and I want to rewatch it again. And same with Superman. I want to rewatch it again. So I loved it. I think both of these movies to me completely understood like the assignment. Like they just understand the characters. And for Fantastic Four, the team dynamic is so important.
It was really good. And they felt
really nailed
like
it.
a family. Like they felt like the first family, you know?
They did. And it was also like just like the way that they clash sometimes, but the way that they like always have each other's back. It was like so emotional. Like I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I think everything with Sue and Reed also becoming like new parents
Mhm.
and they're having to deal with that as a couple. I think it's one of the most realistic, like this is the thing that made me such a Reed Sue shipper. It made me realize that, you know, Reed and Sue have a lot of problems, and that is also true in the comics.
But they're
However,
constantly working at
they
it.
constantly work at it. They commit to
Mhm.
each other. They commit to their relationship. They commit to their marriage because they believe in one another
Mhm.
so much. And it made me really realize just, I've always thought of that as a negative, I guess, for their relationship, that other people just do it better. Like they just get along better. And so
Mhm.
that's why it works. But then it made me realize like, no, these people are like meant for each other, but that's a relationship, you know? You're gonna have moments where you're like, you know, what you do is hurtful to me,
I loved
but
that scene so much, you know, just like sometimes how you are hurts me, and he's just like, I don't mean to. And it's like that's just the reality of it sometimes, you
it
know?
is. And it's like, how do we figure that out together? And the fact that Sue is the one, like it was interesting because obviously there were people coming through and talking about that whole idea of, you know, Invisible Woman like being the team leader or
Mhm.
whatever in it. And I was like, I think Reed is still very much the team leader in that movie because he's the guy with the plan. Like everyone's like,
Mhm.
Reed, what are we doing? No one's like, Sue, what are we doing? But I loved how they all inspire each other to come up with
Mhm.
ideas. So, you know, the
They all
fact
make
that
each other
Reed,
better.
that's
Like,
right. And so like Reed gets the idea for how they're going to handle Galactus from Sue just taking a moment to stand up for the family. And I was like, the fact that her speech like just inspires that spark in
mhm.
Reed's mind is like, that's the Fantastic Four. Because the thing is, it doesn't work without all of them. You
No, and
need to
like they
have all of them.
complement each other in that way. Like you need all of them.
And even
And
during Future Foundation, when Johnny is gone in the comics, right? It's like
mhm.
they needed someone to step in because they can't do it without
Mhm.
that person. I think that that is like, yeah, it's
And
just
you get that great Spider-Man costume. So
yeah, exactly. And then we also have the Future Foundation costumes in Rivals too, and they look sick.
Mhm.
Makes me want to do like Future Foundation, Fantastic Four. It just, I think that movie just really made me understand a little bit more about like why the Fantastic Four is so special. And you know, not to knock necessarily other adaptations that we've had, but I think this movie just got it in a way that other things have not. Like it hasn't really quite clicked like it did in that movie.
No,
That
this
movie
one has
really
been
clicked.
my favorite of the adaptations, like for like the
Yeah.
live adaptations for them for sure. I still have a really big soft spot for the one animated series. Let me pull this up for you. Brody, thank you very much. Read Soups and Bats Generations? Question mark. Perfect for those with a taste for the golden age. Been watching the Miami Vice show recently, so ahead of its time. Soups and Bats Generations is a really interesting story. Have you read it?
I haven't. I have it, but maybe I need to add that to my
To the
my
never-ending
reading
list.
list. My never-ending reading list. Yeah, my I think it's like how long is my reading list? I think it's like 11 pages.
Oh gosh.
Uh yeah, let me pull it up. But I'm going to add it right now. So,
Do
Brody,
it.
thank you so much for the suggestion. That sounds really cool. Yeah, it's oh no, it's not as long as I thought it was. 7 pages. That's not too bad.
Oh yeah, totally not daunting at all. It's a measly 7 pages.
Okay, Unc, says Duck off camera. Okay, Unc.
One of the things
Um,
I've loved about both movies is that like it really inspired like both my kids to do a lot of what like two of them. The youngest one was too young to go, but like to do a lot of reading and stuff. And like it really made my eldest love Superman in a way that like she did not before. And she just kept like one day she just like unpromptly was like, Superman's nice. And I was like, yeah, Superman is nice. I just thought that was really sweet.
that's so inspirational. That's what I mean, though. It's like, it just reminds you, like, these films really tapped into, I think, what like superhero is supposed to be about in my mind, which
Mm.
is like, it's about like these figures that are larger than life that are supposed to inspire us to be better in the world.
Mhm.
So I love that it's like, you know, the kids are like, I'm gonna be like nice like Superman. I'm like, yes,
And I
please.
think that's sweet because it's like I enjoy like a deconstruction. Like they're interesting, they can be entertaining, they can be thought-provoking, but they can also be overdone. And especially if people don't take the time to reconstruct and kind of just leave them in that, like, actually, like, these people would just be like awful and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that's nice sometimes, but also sometimes I do just want to watch them, you know, like, we're going to like a pocket dimension and all that kind of stuff. And like what you saw with both of these is that you can still have a lot of stakes and intensity with that kind of more optimistic energy behind it. Also, did you spot the mural? Did you like clock the mural in the Hall of Justice?
Yes, I did. So good. The mural was so good. I personally just, yeah, that's the thing. It's also, that's the thing about like these movies in terms of rewatchability is that I think a lot of them have like a lot of little things that are quick. Like people in Fantastic Four were talking about this idea of how like, do we do enough with Ben in Fantastic Four? Like, does he get enough? And while I feel like he is the character that kind of got like the least on paper, maybe it's like, if you pay attention to the little details, they're small though, and they're quick. So you have to pay attention. But if you pay attention, it's like all there for Ben. Like where there's so much we're building with the character, but it's little moments. It's how he like lifts the cookie and has to be so careful with it on the plate. It's how he's the guy reading the baby books. And not only does he say that in the movie, but you see him doing it like earlier on, like if you're paying attention. So there's just like so many little things that when you go back and rewatch these movies, whether they're Easter eggs or small moments, it's like there's a lot that they gave us, which is like, yes, I love it.
Renard City Update Channel, thank you very much for saying underrated comic film. I pick Mystery Men. I pick The Rocketeer. What do you pick?
For underrated comic film, Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
I love Birds of Prey. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I know that's controversial.
I like the grand statements you've been making this stream.
I'm making some pretty big statements. People, I'm either gonna either gain a lot of subs on this video or lose a lot of subs, or it'll even out. It'll be like half the people left, and then some new people came in where they were like, "Oh, that's extreme."
They're like, "Finally, I feel seen."
Finally, yeah. But yeah, I really love Birds of Prey. Obscure was also saying with the highlighted comment over here, I love how Spider-Man comforts Johnny's nephew over the loss of his uncle. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Spider-Man, I think, also just fits so well. You know, it's like, who do you get to replace Johnny Storm? I feel like Peter is well,
their friendship is really special. Like I've always loved, you know, Peter and Johnny's friendship.
Do you think that we're gonna get some of that in the MCU? Like, do you think that's gonna?
I don't know. Like I said this in my Fantastic Four stream that I would have been totally fine if we just kept this universe like off in its own kind of little corner and like, oh yeah, see, you know.
Duck was also saying I'd be kind of fine if this just becomes our new universe. Like if the old universe dies and we start something fresh, and this is what it is, and it's just like, and we see all of the heroes, but they're set in, you know, this new Earth. And we get to see like all of them like in kind of this new style, this new aesthetic. And like, what if the X-Men are the young X-Men in this era and it's like more classic? And I was like, that would actually be really
that would cool actually be really fun.
That would actually be really fun. I was like, I'd actually kind of be down for it. I would be sad to say goodbye to the other universe, but like, you know, why not? Because the thing is when you go on too long with something, it is hard for people to. We run into this problem all the time with comics. I think we talk about this every time we stream, actually, so I don't want to linger on it too much. But it is a problem with a serialized media that has no end in sight, that has such a long history. Is like when you keep going forever, you know, where do you?
I think it's also just
how do you get people to keep coming in to get new people? You need to
leave space for the new stuff. You need to leave space for people to love like Absolute and Ultimate. You need to leave space for the younger characters to be able to come into their own and have moments like how we're starting to they're starting to, I think, really pick up momentum with John, like John Kent. Like there's they've been doing a lot of interesting stuff with like Surge, you know, Wally's son. They've been like, you know, Franklin has so much potential. So is Valeria. Like there is, you know,
yeah, Valeria does too.
There's a lot of opportunities to let like these characters come into their own too,
evolve.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Legacy, I think, is a really good way to basically like get new people in and just kind of say like it's a new chapter, so like we
and
can
you
all
don't,
jump
and the
in.
thing is, you don't need to do it by like putting the previous people down at all. It can just be, like, because you can see that with
It
how
can just be them kind of on the back burner while like
Yes.
these new people kind of step into their own, and we got to find we got to follow their story.
Like when the JSA is at its strongest, I find, is when they're doing that, where it's like you'll have a lot of like the older characters still around who still do stuff, but they're in a bit more of mentorship kind of capacity, and then you have like all of the younger heroes who are stepping into a team of the same name, but like they have their own personas and their own problems and like their own stuff. And I feel like that's a really cool way to continue stuff on, in that way.
Yeah, I agree. Lord Monk is asking with a highlighted comment over here, thoughts on Yelena being in Spider-Man 4. Is Yelena going to be in Spider-Man? Yeah. Well, how do I say it, Yelena or Yelena? I'm always questioning myself if I'm saying that right.
I would say Yelena. And then I try and put a mild accent on it.
Yelena. Yeah, a little hint of Russian.
Tiniest bit.
Yeah, I haven't actually been keeping up with the Spider-Man 4 news. I did see the new suit, which I liked. But I know there was like a whole like little like BTS where they were kind of showing, like, I know the Punisher's there, and I've been hearing about it through all of you lovely folks in chat telling me about some of these things. But I want to go and watch it because I feel like if I do anything, I might just do like a video on it to just kind of discuss what I think is happening. But I'm also of the mindset, I don't like to go too hard on the theories because I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, we'll know when we know. And so everything up until that point is just kind of conjecture, and we don't know for sure. So
the conjecture I find the conjecture can be fun as long as it stays that way. Because
as long as we don't take it too seriously.
I see it like that really, like, do you see like that? I'm like, that was a photo from like way back, and like sometimes it's not even real, and just like all kinds of stuff.
It's like we don't really know, but I do kind of want to discuss it. I mean, I was also talking about how I think Sadie Sink is going to be Carly Cooper, which I know is like a weird a weird thing. Yes, Eric, I'm so sorry. Thank you for the 100 biddies. I'm so sorry about the TTS. When we're on StreamYard, TTS is not plugged in. So we have this thing where people can like send messages, and then
nice.
I have a Gladys voice from Portal that reads it out.
Oh, cool.
And people can also choose other voices. I know, Eric, you tend to like the ASMR voices. So I'll do my best to read this for you. You son of a damn you monster, TTS. Cheated me again. Hello, Amanda, Sasha, all. I hope that was.
You just got to act like it's really late at night. So then you kind of get your announcer voice on, because like, hey guys, it's adult radio time, cruising home at 3 a.m. But
Exactly. Sasha could also be. You should make your voice a thing and do just like messages where it'll just read it in your late night announcer voice, because that's
my late night announcer voice ends up always being my signing off of interview voice for some reason, and it's really funny because it's really jarring, because I'll be talking like this and then I'll have to record an outro and I'll be like, thanks guys so much for staying to the end of the interview. I'm like, why do I always do that?
Like, just naturally where your voice wants to go.
Stephen Turner, thank you very much, is saying the Reed Sue film relationship gives me hope for Jean/Scott, because to me, they're supposed to have that deep connection through it all. We've never gotten.
It's true. I think it's hard to do Jean and Scott well. I think also like somewhat of the era that they came up in, kind of like that their relationship was cemented in, kind of messes with it a little bit, because it's like it was just kind of a weird time for relationships in general, in my opinion. Like, Jean being the only lady on the team is like, everyone wanted to be with Jean. So
I jumped way down. I was like in like the Madeline Pryor, like, like era.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for the posture check, Obscure. I'm adjusting it. Yeah, I also hope that we get something really. I'm a big Jean Scott person. Are you Jean Scott or Scott Emma, or everyone together?
Scott Emma.
Scott Emma.
I actually am like at first when I was like growing up and stuff, because the cartoons, like I was all about like, Scott and Jean. But then like, even though New X-Men is not my favorite run at all, like And like they're such a mess there. Later on, when they come to that's like their mentalities and their attitudes and how they operate as leaders together. Like I really sold me on Scott and Emma as like, and he still gets to keep his like telepath thing that like he has. His telepath.
Duck is off camera, I think, agreeing with you and just saying that it's a healthier relationship. It works better. It's just better.
Remember what happened at the end of Krakoa?
Mm-hmm.
Krakoa.
We can finally be together. She's like, going to space. Bye.
Look, sometimes you got to go to space. It is what it is.
Sometimes
if you love someone, you'll let them go to space and you'll support them. And that's what Scott did. He was like, it's okay. You go to space, babe.
Jay is saying Scott can have a harem instead.
Yeah, personally, I'm also like down with everybody to be together. I'm also down for Jean and Emma, honestly. I feel like there's a lot of tension there that could be fun to explore if they want to
we're gonna throw a curveball.
Yeah, I'm like, let's just cut Scott out completely. Just Jean and Emma together, power couple.
This is punishment for all that like weird 90s stuff that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're gonna get together. So yeah, but I think overall, if I had to choose between the two, I would still go Jean and Scott. I just love, like, it is true. They're supposed to have that. They're supposed to have. It's not always well done. They're supposed to have that kind of connection that it's like it's just this deep, sometimes unspoken connection. And I think that they both just, once again, it kind of comes back to, I think, a bit of the Sue and Reed stuff where I think they just really both believe in each other and see, you know, the potential of the other person. And so they try to support each other through anything.
And that can be hard to convey because like lots of the times, like what you're left with is that you do have these moments where like the characters are incredibly flawed. And like when you think about like Reed and Sue, it's like that can be frustrating to read where it's just like, oh, he doesn't, like, why does he ever pay attention to her? Or like come out of the lab or like, you know, and that's why you have so many stories where it's like, what if she just went with Namor? Because he'd pay attention to her, probably too much attention to her. But
yeah, that is true. I mean, that is the other thing though, is like, I do like the Sue Namor ship as well. And I think that there are times when it makes sense. There
are also times when it's incredibly inappropriate and creepy on Namor's part, but like,
I think Namor is kind of inherently a bit of a creep, you know. Yep. So he do be creeping, he do be lurking in the deep, you know, like just creeping on people.
Lines is during the run where they have the orange suits, and it's from actually Franklin, and he's talking with one of the other kids, the Future Foundation, and the kid's like, why does like Namor keep looking at your mom like that? And he's just like, oh, he always looks at my mom like that. And it's like, Namor.
What you don't like the Namor slander? Do you want to join us, or are you just gonna keep slinging words from off camera? All right. All right.
Yeah, never.
Duck has to edit.
Never forget that at the end of World War II, Namor was the only person who said maybe we shouldn't drop a nuclear bomb on Japan.
Hey, Namor was the only person. That Namor's that old though, that he's golden age.
That's true. People forget how old Namor is. Does that also make it creepier that he's into Sue?
Okay, Unc.
That's what we should be saying to Namor. Okay, Unc. Yeah, that is the thing. Like, I think the thing is like, look, I think Namor can be a creep, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't sometimes have points or isn't still a hero. Like
it's also like, I think people
aren't always supposed to be likable.
I think people also need to remember this about shipping too, just in general, is that a lot of times when you're shipping, like it's for fun. It's not always something that you want to see like canonized or anything like that. So it's like, this is kind of like a fun thought exercise. Like we're talking, we're joking. And like, sometimes people do take it like really seriously and they're like, no, like I need this to like be the thing. And they get like way too intense. But like a lot of the time, like it can just be like a fun, you know, in the same energy of like who would win in a fight or like, you know, like power scale, like
where it's like
kind of
all options are really like kind of valid choices. It's just about like what do you see the potential in?
Also, I find it sometimes be a really interesting creative exercise, like where you're kind of like, okay, like if we're gonna do this, like how would it work? What would need to happen? Like that kind of thing. And like again, I know that that's not how everybody like views it, but I think it can be a lot of fun. So
I think it can be a lot of fun too.
I mean, I'm deep down the rabbit hole of crafting a really elaborate ship for two characters that like nobody like cares about. So it's
who are these characters?
Okay, so I am deep in the headcanon of like the Shade and the Phantom Lady from the Golden Age, and if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, it's like, okay, because there's one panel in a Starman issue where the Shade is doing one of his things where he's relaying like a classic story of like somebody who he knew back in the day because he knew a lot of the heroes at the time. And he's like telling a story about the Phantom Lady. But like at the end, he wraps it up with this like, what else can I tell you about Sandra? Oh, I could tell you about the time like where like her lover tried to kill her. Or I could tell you about the time when I saved her life and how shortly after she saved mine. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't just leave me here like with these things.
You're like, now I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, what do you mean?
And I'm like, now I'm
thinking,
and then I also like, well, he's got shadow power. She had like the shadow like gun thing that she used because she also used like shadows to like fight crime versus him using it for crime. And I'm just like, now I'm thinking about it way too much. Nobody cares but me. And I'm just like, let me enjoy my like
let me enjoy this ship that I think
I'm like, this
works
is for
well.
me.
It's for me. Chemdog, thank you for the highlighted comment. Dark Status, congrats on the streak, by the way. Chemdog said, forget Sue and Reed, forget Scott and Jean. Let's get Betty and Bruce back together. Oh my gosh, Betty and Bruce. Betty and Bruce is another one. And what a wild relationship that has been. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the whole thing with Reed and Sue though is making me really think like when I look at relationships, like I need to look deeper sometimes because I think of them as being like broken on the surface, but I'm like, really, there's probably a lot more going on there. And sometimes the people that have like the greatest struggles, maybe have like some of the best relationships in truth. If you can overcome things and then be together, that's definitely a good sign.
Thank you very much, Gerard. We have Irma and Garth, Irma Rock, Irma John, or Irma and Prody throwing out the Imra because I said it wrong every single time. At least I was consistent. So for people to throw behind, because now we've put shipping out there into the
now we've put shipping
into
the chat. Now people are like, let's talk ships.
This is my moment where people are like, ouch, she's one of those. Like, but it's like, we didn't know. I always think of that line from Willy's Wonderland, which is that Nicolas Cage movie, which is just a FNAF ripoff. But it's like the kids are exploring the factory of the animatronics, and like the one girl gets super into it, and her boyfriend's like, "Oh, so you a freak?" Like that's whatever I think whenever I like say something I think the chat won't agree with. But Sunny's saying, "I miss love triangles."
Oh, I also miss love triangles, but you know what? We can always bring them back. And there were a lot of them during Krakoa. We got a lot of triangles. There were many shapes. Many shapes.
There are many shapes.
Many shapes. The Obscure, thank you for the highlighted comment. The Obscure said, people also don't know or seem to forget or haven't discovered yet is that Spider-Man did neglect one of his girlfriends for a while. She wasn't one of the icon characters. She was somebody else. Yo, Peter, let's never forget that Peter sometimes is like actually the worst like people will ask about like characters that I would date or wouldn't date in the superhero world. And I'm like, so here's the thing. Everyone's a hottie, but a lot of these people like need therapy and I wouldn't date them. And Peter is one of those people. He needs therapy and he is sometimes the worst at relationships.
Okay, so here's the question.
Doesn't mean he's not a good guy, but
in this hypothetical dating Peter scenario, do you know that he is Spider-Man?
I think you have to. I think you have to.
If you because it's a very
if he doesn't tell me, it's gonna break us up for sure. For sure. You gotta tell your partner that he's, that's part of the reason that causes a lot of problems.
Peter, but you didn't know he was Spider-Man. It would just be a string of like broken dates, no shows, like constant,
constant ghosting you, and you being like, "What happened?" And then the next time you see him, like he's maybe beat up, and you're like, you good? That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
He was in a fight club or something. So
yeah. And he has also been the person that's like, oh, like this person or that person. And I'm like, Peter, like talk to these women. Like, please, please let them know what's going on in your brain, please. That's, it's also the thing of like, I would also like, I love She-Hulk. I think Jen would be a cool person to date too in the Marvel universe. But I I also don't know if I would date her because she's a hot mess, man. She's busy. She's busy. She's a superhero on top of also being a lawyer. It's like, when do you set up that date?
When do you see?
When do you see her? Also, like, if she's on Earth, she might be in space.
Stephen Turner says, if he doesn't tell you, you may end up the next Gwen. That's true.
If he doesn't tell you, it might be too late.
Why? It's just you're gonna be finding out during the kidnapping. It's like, haha, Spider-Man. Like,
then you're dead. Oh. You're like, oh boy.
I like the Curly Insane Guy's title, Deadpool Dates the Marvel Universe. I'd read it, actually. So I probably would read that, even though it may get pretty annoying depending upon how many jokes they threw into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamie said Peter ruined Deb Whitman's life with his nonsense gaslighting her. He's not great. Yes. Yes, he's not great.
And that's why it's great that you're reading the stories from his perspective, so that you can see all of the things that he's doing. So you're like, well, the lizard, or like, Mysterio,
that's what I mean.
Or whatever else it was.
He has reasons. So it's like, I understand. I don't think that it necessarily means he's a bad person, but sometimes he makes bad choices. Like many people, honestly, in the universe. He's not alone. A lot of people are like this. So, I mean, if we're to remember Peter's failings, there are many other people we must remember. Like, let's not even start with Batman. Batman's a mess, man. I
feel like he'd have a better dating experience with Batman, though. I feel like he's at least better organized. So I don't feel you're going to get canceled on. Like,
also, at least if he ghosts you, like, someone's probably going to be there to, like, drive you home, or like there'll be someone there.
You're going to get a call at the very least.
At the very least, like Alfred will probably call you and be like, so unfortunately, Master Bruce has to cancel the date.
Or a nicer makeup date or something.
Or some flowers or something. Bruce will probably send you something as like sorry about that. Especially if you're not just like a cover for him. If you're not just like one of the people that's maintaining his. Yes. Yes. I think he'll put in effort, at least. He won't let everything become a hot mess and then be like, well, I can't say anything because I'm miserable because I'm Peter Parker. At least Batman will be like, well, I'm miserable, but I can at least be like decent.
Well, it depends what era too, because I've been reading a lot of the 70s stuff, and I'm like, I miss kind of well-adjusted, like had his life together, not an emotional disaster Bruce, because there was a time when like he had his life more together and like he was coping in a much better way. So
yeah, I feel like the one thing I will say too is I feel like Superman actually would be like maybe the one person that you can date.
Which one though? Not Silver Age Superman. You don't want to date
No, not Silver Age Superman. Like Primer's Superman, let's say. I think he's got it together. I also love Superman and Lois and Superman. That was hot.
I like that
was
too.
Great.
I like that too. Stephen Turner saying the way Selena was probably about to cancel on him too.
Yeah, the nice thing is with Catwoman and Batman, I feel like they're well suited to each other for that reason, because they both kind of are a little.
That was one of my favorite scenes in Batman Returns, where Bruce and Selena are on the date, and then the signal goes up, and he has to leave, but also actually she has to leave, so it's a good thing that he had to leave.
Yeah, I like that. I agree. I think that, that's why I feel like that is my favorite chip with Batman is definitely Catwoman. I think they belong together forever. But I also love the idea that, like, will they ever like commit to being together forever? I don't even know if they need to. That's the thing. It's like they're always worried about, like, can I commit to this person? And I'm like, maybe
I don't know if they,
not committing is you committing.
Not all relationships need to have that traditional trajectory. That's right. So, like, I feel like that might be one of them that works better not in that way,
Yeah. I agree.
We catch up with all the peeps.
There's
it's so funny how this turned into, like, who would you date?
I know. We got into, like, ships. Also, we can talk about some comics, too. If there's anything else you want to talk about, we've, like, as we do, we just talk about whatever. Yeah.
Whatever is on our brains.
On our brains, on chat's brains. Obscure is saying, what are y'all's favorite non-Marvel, non-DC superheroes? With a highlighted comment over here.
Oh, I love the non-Marvel City heroes a lot. I always enjoy the Astro City stuff. I'll recommend it like any chance that I get. I think that universe is just really interesting, really fun. It's got a lot of like pastiches, homages, and like a really interesting reconstructionist kind of way. Everything's finally been collected too, so you can actually get all of it, because there have been periods where I've recommended it and it hasn't been in print, and I always feel really bad when I do that. But it's like, no, it's all in print. You can actually go and get it right now. So yeah, there's a bunch. I'm like, I try to think, because like whenever people ask that, like, you know, of course the mind instantly is like, there are other heroes. I'm like, yeah, there are. But when I think about indie stuff, I tend to think of the other genres first.
So do I.
Foremost,
like I was thinking about that, and I was literally like, I think I would say Adam Eve. I really do like Invincible. I really like the universe and the world, and I just love Eve. I think that she's such a complex character. And she's also so powerful, and I love that. It's like a character that's like super powerful. Is Psyduck your pick?
Big fan of Homelander because he's like the best.
Oh my gosh, yes, Homelander, it would be your pick. Yeah, so I feel like, is this your presence on the stream?
Yeah.
Hello, Psyduck.
I have one of those, but it's Jigglypuff. So.
Yeah, Jigglypuff. You have a sleepy one too?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the sleepy ones are so good. I keep seeing them at all the stores, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Nick, that's true. I do love Vampirella, and I do love Red Sonja, but it's hard because, well, I think Vampirella is kind of a superhero. Definitely more than I would say Red Sonja is, because Red Sonja is like a barbarian, and she's like her own thing, really. She's in her own different category of comics.
I know it's debatable on alignment,
what?
But for me, it's probably always going to be Jackie Estacado.
The Darkness. Actually, someone brought up Witchblade in the comments over there. The latest Witchblade came out this week also, and it was really good. So just putting that out.
I also see people saying Hellboy. Hellboy's a great pick.
Oh,
I do love Vampy, but I feel like Vampy is also kind of weird, because to call her a superhero, it's kind of like a weird. And I know that there have been like over at Dynamite, they've done the whole thing where like Vampirella and Red Sonja like literally became heroes.
Yeah.
So that was a whole thing that happened. But it's just, it feels weird because like Vampirella's, she got her own thing going on, really. She's not really a hero because like that's necessarily like her role in this. But the other thing is that she's kind of a hero, I feel like, just because she's tries to be a good person and do right, but it's not necessarily like what she seeks to be, I don't think. Adam Eve is like a very, I would say, more of a traditional superhero, where like she really, I think a big part of her life and her objective in life is to help people, whether it be like as a superhero or in any other way that she can with her abilities, just as a person even. So it's like a different mind state, I guess. But yes, Vampirella is also a great example, and I do love Vampirella. But I think when I think of indie, I also tend to think of more like,
well,
not
some people have brought up some good ones here, like Local Man / Cross Jack, definitely. Cross Jack, as they say in the comics all the time. And Power Fantasy also got brought up. I really enjoy the Power Fantasy. I want to talk about it, because it's kind of heady
for the hydrate
to discuss, you know, the Power Fantasy, but it's worth it. And like, it started to be collected in trades, and that's definitely one that's really interesting to check. Yeah. Ben Chan saying Abe Sapien's a hottie. So
Abe Sapien is a hottie. Agreed,
oh,
Ben.
There's a new Phantom coming out very soon. I'm hoping to get it so I can share it with all of you before it drops it's coming out on the 24th, but I'm supposed to get something on the 1st. So hopefully I can show it to all of you so we can see some Phantom return. So yeah.
That's pretty exciting. Also, Rob, I did see, I refunded your points for the gun show. I'm not going to do gun shows during Talking Comic streams. So just, I play like a whole sound clip and stuff, but I'm like, I don't have the setup. I don't have the setup for it. So I refunded your points though, so you can redeem it next time. And the hydrate, I got you. I'm keeping an eye, but you know, I'm just chatting and then also trying to look at every chat all at once.
Oh yeah, because you've got like an Ozymandias setup like over there, because you've got like so many. I've only got two.
I do.
You've got more.
I have all the screens, and actually, can I Oh, I just wanted to see if I could just toggle your chat over here because that would actually be like easier. That I could see all the chat separately. I'm looking at my chat separately and also looking at our amalgamated chat. So I'm just trying to read 3 chats while also chatting myself.
Well, that's the thing. It's because like you're kind of multitasking whenever you're streaming because you've always got an eye on the chat, also to what you're talking about, also to what you're thinking about. Like it's a very interesting kind of headspace to
it is
when you're doing it.
It is. It's weird when people are like, oh, is that a thing that like when you're streaming, is that how is that for you? Because like, you know, you probably have to like look at chat and then also like if you're playing a game or something, you have to like play the game. And I'm like, yeah, you just kind of try to like, you get used to it as you go through doing stuff.
It's a skill, like anything. You just kind of start doing it. And the more you do it, the easier it is to just kind of quickly switch and glance off of, you know, all of the different things.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you like that mental prep like beforehand too? Of like, okay, it's like, okay,
yes,
streaming,
streaming, mind open. That's what I always think. I'm like, open all the eyes because look at all the things, and then also engage with whatever when you're streaming. And I think also when we do like chatting streamings where I'm chatting with someone else online, that's also adds like another layer of it because it's like. Normally, if you and I were just doing a just chatting stream, like on our own with our community, it'd be like really the back and forth is with the chat. But here, the back and forth is with you and I. And then also chat is also part of the conversation. So it's like we're having our conversation, but also we want to acknowledge your conversation while we're having a conversation. So that's layered. But that's the fun of it. I love the layers of
conversationception.
Conversationception.
I wanted to make a smoother word, but it didn't end up happening. So.
I think conversationception pretty much covers it. I think it's pretty smooth.
Archon is asking if webcomic parodies count. I think that parody characters count. Like, I definitely think so.
I think so.
Fumo, thank you very much for saying, hey guys, I'm going to Comic-Con Africa next week, and I'm so excited to be at Artist Alley again. What's your favorite part of con? So what's your favorite part of the con experience?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, congrats on, you know, going to Artist Alley again. And I hope you have an amazing con. Comic-Con Africa is like, that would be like a dream convention to get to. That sounds like it's probably so fun. My favorite part of the con is, I feel like seeing like friends or seeing people from the community. I love meeting up with people. I love hanging out and just like getting to, like, I love that fandom brings us all together in a space where we just all get to like be excited together and hang out. Yeah, con parties are really good. That's a great suggestion. Also, I like cosplaying, obviously. So that's something that I enjoy. But I also just love, even if I'm not cosplaying, I love seeing other people's cosplays. I just went to Gen Con and I didn't cosplay at that convention. And I had a little bit of FOMO, but I was like living through everyone else's outfits. I was like, oh, that looks so good. And like, I love this cosplay. And I wish I was dressed up too. But like, honestly, just getting to see people expressing their love of fandom with an outfit is like, fire. Even if you're not even like cosplaying, if you're just like dressed up in nerd like fashion,
apparel,
love that. I love some nerd fashion.
Also, people have dropped the word converception, which is perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, Sasha? What's your favorite part of con?
I'm not a big con person. Like I'm not a big like crowd like type person, and like I get super awkward when like I meet people in person and like talk to people in person.
Oh, so do I.
And like I have a hard time like approaching people or being like, you know, like I get in my head a lot. I'm like, well, no one wants to talk to me or like anything like that. And so like it takes a lot of like overcoming of like that. So if I ever get to a point where like I can go and I'm just like out of my head, you know, where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to meet somebody and like it's just a good time, like a casual chill time, then that I enjoy. But in general, honestly, I find it stressful. So
you know, it can be, and it can be very overwhelming. And I know what you mean with getting in your head. I mean, like I was just at a meetup last night where we did like a really big like photo shoot with like a bunch of cosplayers and photographers, and it was so fun. And I had such a great time. But like before I was going, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I can like talk to anyone, because like, why would they ever want to talk to me? Like, I don't even know what I say. And then as soon as like we started talking, it was like, oh, like everyone's just excited. like everyone was like excited about everybody else. So we were, I was like, oh, so we actually all think each other is cool. And I was thinking no one would think I was like interesting or worth any of their time. But it's like we all think that about each other. And then we're all probably here questioning, like, why am I even here? Like, do I even get to be here? Because I feel like imposter syndrome is huge. I think especially as a content creator, I don't know. I'm sure everyone experiences it. People in chat, feel free to sound off. But I think imposter syndrome is legit, and especially at a convention. And there's a lot of people that walk around like, oh, I know everything. So then it makes you feel even more insecure. But then I just think those people are also probably feeling the same exact thing.
John Stewart is saying, just take Alvin with him. He'll me out with everybody.
Support cat. Emotional support cat.
Brody Vickers, thank you very much, is saying, my first crossover was Predator versus Judge Dredd, Pred versus Dredd, gore decapitations, totally suitable for an 8-year-old. 2000s library did not care.
Wow, I love that. I love that that was like your first crossover. I think that that's great. But honestly, I feel like with books, you know, there's so much that you can kind of like get away with as like a kid, like reading, because you're reading.
I personally think that as long as there's somebody there to discuss with, if you happen upon something that's, like, you know, maybe above where you like should be or can handle, like, I think that kind of stuff happens, you know. Like, I think there's a difference between like giving it to like a child on purpose versus like, you know, oh, they go to the library and like this looks cool and like they pick it up and then it turns
they
out
want to read
that,
it and they're like, I'm excited.
Like, you know. I'm like, that kind of stuff happens. So
that's like, we just found out, we just found a book that I've been looking for forever. That was a novel that I read when I was very young that is called Master of the Game.
Okay.
And it is a, if anyone has read this book, it is pretty spicy. It's very spicy. And I definitely read it at an age where I probably shouldn't have been, but I really loved that book and I thought it was really good. And I've been trying to find it forever. And Jamie Lamey in my chat was the one that, what I was describing, it was like, is it this book? And I was like, I've been looking for this book for years. So I'm very excited to like go back and reread the book and see like, you know, but there were things that definitely I was like, whoa, when I was younger reading it. However, you know, I think it's good because it's still, it's like, it's knowledge, it's in a book, and it is just something that allows you to explore as you evolve and as you grow, and also allows you to just bring up, if things come up, just make sure you have someone there that you could talk to, ideally. But
it's like, I had a book like that I finally found. It was called Stones. It was a horror novel, and
that sounds familiar.
I remembered reading it as a child. Again, I shouldn't have. It was just on a bookshelf, and like I picked it up. And like, it was about this woman and her daughter, and like her husband had died and he'd given the daughter this gift of like these stones. And it turned out like the stones were cursed, and like they slowly started like building themselves into a replica of the daughter in the garden. And like, as they did, they like took her over, and she just became like this worse and worse person as she got possessed. And it was actually like, it was reading it again when I found it as an adult, I'm like, yeah, this is like a Todd read, like beach read. But like as a child, it was like really intense. I was like, whoa.
Like that's the thing. It's also fun to like kind of go back and be like, how crazy was this? And then sometimes you go back and you're like, wow, it wasn't actually that crazy.
Like,
I was young.
Like
I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh my god. So yeah, we'll see when I go back. Just Rob says, how many audio drama radio play fans do we have here as a highlighted message?
I'm sure some.
Love them.
I'm sure definitely some.
I love them. I mean, also now audiobooks basically are that as well. Can be, depending on the production value. But yeah, I listen to a lot of the Marvel podcasts that they do. And I've also listened to some of the DC ones, which are basically like audio dramas. They're really good.
No, they can
there's so much like to explore out there when it comes to media. It's like, there's novels, there's books, there's TV, there's animated stuff, there's movies, there's radio plays, basically. It's just a lot.
You've got choices. It's like whatever your preferred kind of, you know, entry point is, you have it. So
yeah. What else have you been reading, by the way? Tell me
What
more.
else have I been
Speaking
reading?
of media and books, let's talk more about some books.
I have been reading through this. This is Yan.
Ooh.
So I have just picked up, I'm just starting volume 2. I read volume 1 and I'm planning on talking about it. So, because there's
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, there's also a lot out there in the realm of manga and the like to be checking out. So this one is from Titan, from their
Oh, cool.
manga collection that they have. So I've been picking my way through that. I've been reading through some of the older Conan stuff, catching up with some of that. I fell a bit behind on my Conan, so I had to catch up with that. I showed it on the last
like the
stream.
current stuff that's going on, or like classic
Both.
Conan? Both. Yeah. Did the current stuff make you want to read classic?
I've always liked
already
the
reading
classic
classic.
stuff. Like I've always liked old like pulp magazines and pulp stories, and like so many stories that end up being later collected originally like were published inside of pulp magazines, especially in the sci-fi and horror genres. And so a bunch of the Bad Idea comics, because they're difficult to
you
get
were telling me.
digitally.
They are.
So when I see them, I tend to pick them up. And there were a couple of previews in the back of specifically this one that I was intrigued by. I was already intrigued by Survive.
We have like a little bad idea like pop-up in my LCS, but it's like, it's just like a little pop-up. And the cool thing about Bad Idea is that I think it's still like their books are limited, so you can't like can't buy like a ton of copies, right? Because they're trying to prevent people from coming in and like buying up all the copies, like resell stuff, things like that.
Yeah, because
they're very like pro readers.
They're trying to play a bit with distribution. I am glad that they have eased up a bit on the digital that they were doing before. Now it's there, but it doesn't happen like right away. So it's like you kind of got to wait for it a little bit. But I appreciate that, because I'm like, there are times when you do want a digital copy. So like I think about that, especially for video making purposes. I'm like, I love to show B-roll. I'm just like, my camera just sometimes does not, depending upon the setup that I have or whatever, do the justice that I want for. And also sometimes you want to do a comparison, because sometimes the book looks vastly different, on the digital read through than on your physical read through. And sometimes you might want to recommend one over the other. And it's like, well, for that, you want to show both, so that you can compare. And otherwise you're just in a trust me, bro kind of scenario, which I never like being. It's like, yeah, this one's the trust me, bro, Yeah,
100%. Trust me, bro. But yeah, I feel like Bad Idea is one that I've always wanted to get like more into, but I haven't. I've only dipped a toe here and there. But every time I read something from them, I usually find it like super interesting. They make really cool stuff, and they're not afraid to like make different stuff.
I'm appreciating that. I'm appreciating how just like each title is really different from the others. There's also some Tiny Onion stuff coming out soon on James Tynion's like thing.
Oh, so yeah.
Some horror things are coming out there that I'm keeping an eye on for when they drop. It's coming in a couple of months though, for spooky month. So
spooky month is going to be crazy. I feel like
I want to do some fun spooky things for spooky month. So
I want to like try to cosplay more in October and see how many costumes I can do in like a month just for fun. But I also feel like, I don't know, what will my mental state be at the end of October if I do that? I don't know. But I feel like it could be really fun just to like dress up, because I don't know. I just feel like spooky month is like the best season. So it should be celebrated in full, whether it be with, what we're reading, what we're wearing, how we live our lives. Definitely how we live our lives.
There's a wig I've been keeping an eye on. So I'm like, maybe I'll get it for spooky month and then, wear it on the stream. It's been a while since I've picked up a new one because people always tease me. They're like, "How many do you have?" And I'm like, "Too many." Like we're not gonna count them. Too many. I realized it was too many when my middle daughter she was playing with Lego and she was building rooms like in the little house she was constructing. And then she went, "This is the wig room." And I was like, "Oh no." She's like it was a normal room to have in your home. It's like, this is the bathroom, this is the kitchen, this is the wig room.
But you have like the best collection of wigs. Your wig collection is, I'm envious.
They bring me joy. Because I can't decide on what hair I want. So
honestly, it is like a challenging thing to sometimes be. Also, I have so much hair. Like there are times when I'm just like, I just wish I didn't. And I like the idea of like with wigs, it's like you just have the option to have like as much or as little hair as you would like.
Yeah, it's like today, it's pixie cut day, because you can really like tamp it down. Oh, Ben Chan is saying wig for Fiddler cosplay because that was one of the things in the Crisis. There's the panel where you see the Fiddler wears a wig. So he's rocking wig life. Like so many people like original Black Canary, which was because whenever I post the panels of Black Canary with a wig, people are like, Black Canary wore a wig. And I'm like, for decades, both her and her mom. Like it was like in the Golden Age, her first story where it's her and she takes over the book from Johnny Thunder. She steals his backup. Like one of the first things you see is her it's the last thing actually is the wig hanging up in the closet when she's like thinking with Larry. So
yeah, I feel like Black Canary in the wig is, I mean, it's crazy to me because it's so consistent that there are so many people that just like don't know or simply have forgotten.
Well, it's because they dropped it. They dropped it and just made her blonde. They even stopped dyeing it at some point. They were just like, no, whatever, just blonde. I was like, they did the same thing with Nightshade, which made me sad.
That's interesting.
Like, more wigs, please. Even though it's impractical, I will suspend my disbelief. So when
it's practical, but it also kind of makes sense because it's like if you wanted to like kind of like be secretive, like having a wig like can change your entire look. Like it really is.
Although some people posted, and I agreed with this, they were like, wouldn't it make more sense to use your actual hair for crime fighting and then wear a wig day to day because you're less likely to get it snatched off your head in like your day to day life?
That is probably true. However,
I'm like, that's true.
If you're dated, it depends on how much you're day to day and how much you're superhero, I guess. Because I feel like if I was dating more often, I'd probably want to wear a wig, like just when I'm a superhero. If I had as much hair as I do, because that's the only thing. It's like I love wearing. I have a turbulent relationship with wigs because I used to hate wearing wigs. Then I started getting some better wigs. Now I really like wearing wigs, but still the process of wearing a wig is a lot because it's like I have to like braid all my hair and like bind all my hair down and like get it flat enough and then like put the wig on. And then like I've started to experiment a little bit with like lace fronts too. And then that's a whole other thing.
But it's like you got to get the cut right. You've got to like cut it down properly. And then you got to decide, are you going to leave the baby hairs on if it comes with baby hair and like, like a whole bunch of like other stuff. So
and then I'm trying to like figure out like how to like basically like blend the lace front in so that it looks like natural. And it's a whole journey, but like it's a fun journey to be on because it's very creative to wear wigs.
Yeah, because it's like
when you wear a wig well, it feels very satisfying.
Sometimes the lace color too can really make it difficult for like blending depending upon like what you're working with, and also it depends how long do you want to wear it for? Because if like you're only going to wear it for a little bit, like I don't love to do like a really intense lay down if it's only going to be a couple of hours, so
yeah.
Somebody's asking, do you have a Guy Gardner wig yet? It's a bowl. Take any wig and get a bowl, and then
we should all have Guy Gardner wings, honestly, especially after Superman. Everyone should be. Every closet needs a Guy Gardner wing this season. Everyone go out, buy your Guy Gardner wings. We should all do Guy Gardner cosplays with our wigs. Actually, that would be great.
It's just like we are like the whole core is just Guy Gardner.
It's all Guy Gardner. Gosh, that would be quite a handful if the whole core was Guy Gardner. That'd be a lot.
Get a Lex Luthor wig. I have seen people who do just get bald caps, just like for fun. That's fun. And just put them on and wear them because they can. Yeah, because there was that scene in Black Canary Best of the Best, the Black Label book, where Lady Shiva like ripped the wig off of her head. But then it's like that's Black Label, so it's like that's its own thing. It's like the thing is, I'll accept it either way. I'm like, I'll take wig, I'll take no wig. people always bring up that scene in Justice where it's Clayface and Clayface accidentally makes her blonde because he doesn't know, and then tries to have a, like, there's that scene with like Clayface and Ollie, and then he's like, I just thought it was a kink thing. So like, Ollie, no. Oh.
Ooh, I Will One has a good point.
What?
That real hair leads to DNA evidence.
You see, that's why we can't think about it too hard, because it's like if we start implementing too much of the real world, it's like nobody should be
It's
able
like there's
to
a
hide
lot
what
of,
they're doing.
you could look at maybe both sides have points, you know, but it's
Mhm.
true. If you leave a wig hair at the scene, unless it's human hair for somebody else's head,
Well, it's true, because if you have a human hair wig, it's going to lead it to,
then
you
it will
know.
lead to someone else. But maybe you're like, that's part of it. That's my alibi. If they sold a bunch of wigs, it might be hard for them to pinpoint like who's which wig is there. This is like, yeah, you can't go too deep with this.
I know. You see, we're
a lot
going
of
down a
a lot.
very deep rabbit hole. Oh, that's true. Supergirl used to wear a wig. That is true as well, because like,
Yes.
and Supergirl did do the opposite. She used her real hair when she was Supergirl, and she had like the Linda Lee like pigtails, and then she had to go like get another thing, because then when she gets adopted, her father's like, you're too big of a girl for pigtails, and she's like, gotta get a new wig. So
Got to get a new wig. Sometimes you just need that new wig. I have been reading, trying to keep up with.
Oh,
some
are you
Imperial.
up with the Imperial?
Imperial has been really good. We just got the we know now who's kind of behind it all, which is kind of interesting. One person I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. The other person, surprising, but in a good way, which I've enjoyed. But you know, it's just Jonathan Hickman. You just can't go wrong, I think, with Jonathan Hickman. He's not, he, other than Wolverine Revenge,
Was that duck in the back?
yeah, Duck. Wait, where was he? Did he pop up? He was here. He's like, he keeps coming over and just standing here and watching me talk to you. And I'm like, do you have something to say? Or are you going to say something? But yeah, we're both liking Imperial. So that's been really good. Although I feel like no one's really talking about it. Is no one really talking about Imperial? Are people talking about it? Y'all, what's the internet?
Like, not so much on like my side, but also I like skew more like DC and indie a lot of the time. Like, I'm thinking about talking the new Black Cat. People are going to be like, she's a pod person. She was replaced, because I did read Black Cat #1 by G. Willow Wilson.
Right. There you go. Yeah, how was that? I feel like G. Willow Wilson doing Black Cat is like,
I thought it was fun. I thought it was like a fun issue. I think some people aren't going to gel with like the whole premise of she's like, I'm going to pick up some of the slack from Spider-Man and like, you know, do some like superheroing on my own. But like, I thought it was fun. A bunch of the supports that they've established since like the Jed McKay run and stuff, like they're still around doing stuff. So it feels like there's some consistency and through line there. It had a very just kind of like upbeat, like we're just going to have fun energy. So like, I enjoyed that. Sometimes that's just what you want to read, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do want to read things that are fun and upbeat. Actually, I like, I mean, especially when you're starting something, like sometimes people will start something that's like really intense and you're like, okay, but like, where are we going from here?
That's how I felt with Exquisite Corpses 3. I'm like, not today. Like,
not today. Not today.
Another day.
Exquisite Corpses. Not today.
ESC has a question, which is, I get to interview Carl Kerschel. Any advice? I've never interviewed anyone before, and I'm scared. I could email to ask if that's better. No, it's fine to ask here. It's fine to ask here. I would say, this is my advice, then you can give your advice, Amanda, because you've interviewed people too. I would say, do your research on the person first. Make sure that you're familiar with like their work set. If you're interviewing them about something specific, make sure if possible that you've read it. Like, if you don't have access to it, ask, you know, like either the PR person or them if you can read it beforehand so that you're more informed about what you're going to be talking about. Also, you have a list of questions, but don't be married to them. Like, if it veers and you're not going to get to some stuff because the conversation is flowing a different direction, you don't want to have to be like, okay, like now we're going to force back to like my list because I have a list. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. Like, it will go where it goes. Also, get out of the way right away if there are any like things that they really don't want to talk about. or would make them uncomfortable. So that's not a surprise, like, you know, during anything. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I would say definitely ask if there's like anything that they really don't want to talk about. And I would just say listen, like definitely do your research, like Sasha said. I think that's very important. And I think there's a lot of people that don't do their research necessarily. So a lot of folks will be happy that you've come to the table with
Yes.
that knowledge. But also, you know, try to relax and just like be present in the moment and have a good time, because I think the best interviews come from just having a conversation. And part of having a conversation is not just about knowing what to say, it's also about like
listening and like knowing
listening
how
to each other,
because
how to
every
respond.
person is also different. And so you'll find as you're talking to people that they have different conversation styles. Some people are succinct, some people like to go on, like some people, you know, you need to prompt. So it's just it's different each time as well. So it's like it's always an interesting experience. And I would also say just remember that they're people. You know, like people are people, and like don't pedestal people or like anything like that. Like people are people, and like they're keen to talk about their work and stuff too. So
yeah, 100%. Like don't let someone's you know, maybe reputation like intimidate you, because at the end of the day, they're just a person like all of us. Every time I talk to someone and I'm like, whoa, I'm just like, I start off being whoa, and then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, this is just like a person. This was such a nice conversation. I don't know why I got nervous about it, because, you know, nerves are part of it. So I feel like that's normal.
Controversially, I think the nerves are good. I think nerves keep you on your toes. I think they need to always be like mindful and thinking. Like maybe that's me like coping, but like I think they're good.
I definitely think it's normal to be nervous, but don't let your nerves get in the way for you, like finding that comfort level where you can start to like just feel comfortable. And hopefully that's your evolution too, EST Comics, when you get into your interview, is that like, you know, you start out with the nerves and then you kind of like start to settle in a bit. But I agree. Nerves are good. Just don't let them rule you. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I would agree. Alvin, do you agree?
Alvin super agrees.
He batted me.
Let me tell you. I need to I'm so behind on my Absolute Batman. But I've been
I'm all up. That's why it's in my thumb. I'm completely up on it. It's one of the things I'm going to be talking about, because I'm going to be talking about Absolute Bane and what's going on with that.
Absolute Bane
and stuff like that. And also because the moment in 11 which you're holding, I don't think really works. So I think that's going to be an interesting discussion. So
I'm excited to read and catch up. See what maybe doesn't work. See if I can guess what it'll be.
Maybe you'll be texting me. You'll be like, "What are you talking about?" I'll be like, "I see."
Oh yeah, or maybe I'll message you. I'll be like, "Was it this?" And you'll be like, "You got it." I'll be like, "I see what you're saying."
Alvin.
Or maybe I'll say, "Was it this?" And you'll be like, "No," and I'll be like, "Oh, well, I didn't think this worked." Maybe we'll be like, "None of it works. It's now all of a sudden it's terrible." No, probably not. Just because something doesn't work doesn't mean that it's bad even necessarily. And you know, all of these comics have to have, it's hard with Absolute because it just feels like there's been so much stuff that's been really like, wah! But I'm like, we gotta have levels, because honestly, if we don't have levels, like what are we doing? To be honest, that would make me kind of concerned if there wasn't some stuff that didn't work for all of us all the time. And I mean, I guess for some people as well, even when Absolute was announced, like Batman, like there are some people out there that like none of this worked from day one. So,
you know, some people, it just isn't for them. It's the same with Absolute Green Lantern. I got a comment where they're just really salty about how they've done Hal. So like for them, it's just not working at all, just because of the base concept of Hal not having his fearlessness that, you know, that he
it is hard to wrap your head around something that you feel like is so core to a character. And then someone's like, we're going to do something different. It's like, oh, that can rub people the wrong way. Absolute Alvin when, says Archon.
Absolute Alvin right now, apparently.
Coming to you immediately. Alvin wants cuddles, right meow. He does. Alvin needs all the cuddles. It's important. It's important to his Absolute arc.
Joker is Alvin an all black kitty. You know, he's a Siamese kitty, but he's chocolate. He's a chocolate point, as they're called. Not all Siamese kitties are cream colored. So he is of the chocolate variety.
Yes. Ah, got you.
Yes. You're very soft right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is making me wish that I had a cat. I have no cats. I have nothing. This is the closest I've got. My ears. Pet my own head.
Eventually, we're hoping to add a dog to it, but we'll see how that goes.
Whoa, dog
Yeah.
would be great. Dog would be awesome. Dogs are good too.
It's because my youngest, like he loves dogs so much. So it's like when we're out and he's always waving to them and being like, "Hi, dog, bye, dog." So I'm just like, oh, he loves it so much. Like, you know.
What kind of dog do you think you would get? This is true, Lumix. I do have a duck.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's something mid-size. You know, nothing too big. Something mid-size, something with a good temperament around like high energy children. You know, yes. So
something chill.
Yes, you know, we need chill to deal
I love
with.
the chat is like, Amanda, you have a duck.
I saw that you have a duck.
Jeff. You have Jeff the land shark. Like I do. I have Jeff. That's true. I have an army of plushies. So I have many companions of sorts. I don't know. What else do I have? I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I still have to read.
That's my thing. It's like I'm still catching up with a bunch of stuff too.
Someone was asking me G.I. Joe or Transformers earlier in the chat for like which one do I like better. I'm not reading Transformers, so I'm gonna go with G.I. Joe.
So by default.
Reading that one, and I am really liking it. Yeah, Duck is the one that's reading Transformers. So we decided for the Energon universe, we were just gonna like split the two sides, and that he was gonna do Transformers and I would do Joe because I'm more of a G.I. Joe fan than a Transformers fan. Although I do like Transformers, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I am a fan. That's a double negative. But yes. Did I see that you did a super chat in YouTube?
I did not see one pop up.
No, I didn't see that, Renelle. I didn't see that on my end.
Yeah, normally they're highlighted for me. If I did not see one.
Yeah. I'm trying to scroll through to see. I don't see any chat from you on the YouTube side, Renelle. Are you sure?
Huh. Yeah, no, I don't see it. I just went. There's a special.
Let me know. Let me know what your username is over on YouTube, and I can take a look to see. Maybe I missed something somehow, but yeah, it doesn't come up. I feel like that is a thing. The Energon universe has been doing really well, I think, in general, though. So to be honest, I don't think there's really a best. Here's the Transformers that I have for Doug. I don't really think there's like a which one's like necessarily the best. They're both really good. They're just kind of different, a little bit of a different vibe, but also now really starting to kind of intertwine a little bit more with the Joes and the Transformers. So, are you reading any Energon stuff?
I'm not like that one. Like I just made the choice. Like it's not really like I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan, but I'm just like it's not something that I'm the most interested in. So it's like when I have the allocated extra for like other books that aren't like big two or maybe aren't going to be review stuff, then that's when I take the risks. That's when I go out and pick like a random like, you know, indie book or something that I might not have picked up otherwise or something like that, you know? Yeah. Because I'm like, otherwise there are lots of things that I wouldn't. Where's the one thing I picked up? I need to look it up. It was really interesting. It had a really interesting art style. I probably will not be able to find it. I probably won't. Completely am blanking on it, but there was one, it just started and it's got this really unique art style and it's about like a nuclear fallout type thing where it causes a zombie apocalypse. There it is, News from the Fallout. There.
News from the Fallout.
This is one that I'm going to be giving a try because I saw the interiors and I thought that they were really cool.
Ooh.
So let me pull it up.
Condon and Jeffrey Allen Love.
Yes.
Condon.
I really like Jeffrey Allen Love's work. So let me pull it up briefly if I can share this tab instead. And yeah. So I just think the art style for it is like
Oh,
pretty.
I think Duck's
unique.
joining us.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
I'm here. I love
Oh wow, that is
Oh,
really
a chair!
cool. Chair has appeared. Duck will join us for a bit. Here's some comics.
Now
You
that,
can
the,
hold
now
those.
that the video is live.
Oh yeah, now that the video is up, everyone
Mm.
go check out my video where I talked about
Oh, nice.
the upcoming horror games and why I am hype and why I believe.
Survival horror is so back.
Yeah.
What are you
I'm
hyped
excited.
for?
Everything, man. What am I hyped for? That's a good question. I mean, like, in the video, I'm talking about Silent Hill F. I'm talking about Resident Evil 9, and I'm also talking about Kronos. So I'm talking about those three. But really, I feel like just like everything I see that's like survival horror lately is
Really good.
insanely good. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm going to be playing all the scary games and I'm going to be so scared. It's going to be great.
I don't know if it's survival or not, but I really like the trailer I saw for the Hellraiser
Halloween.
game.
I also saw that. Pardon?
I really like the trailer I saw for the Hellraiser game.
The Hellraiser game also looks sick. Yeah, I
So,
agree.
I am not excited for the Halloween game.
What?
Oh, you're not excited for the Halloween game? Not the Hellraiser game. We're talking about
The
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser game looks great, but the Halloween game that just got announced.
Yeah.
Because it's being done by, I believe, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre people and the people who did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which are both asymmetrical multiplayer games that are trying to go up against Dead by Daylight. And then when they don't get the same numbers, they just abandoned them. Like they just recently announced that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're no longer supporting it. They're like, it's still going to stay online, but we're no more updates. Sorry, guys. Sorry for anyone who liked this.
Oh, wait, what? For Halloween?
They're the same company.
Oh, it's the same company.
And then
but this one is a single player.
They have a single player aspect to it, but it's also asymmetrical multiplayer.
Oh.
So you're worried it's going to be abandoned, that it'll suffer the fate.
The single player will be good enough that it'll be like, I can keep coming back and doing this. Or it's going to be like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which they're like, here's all the content, and then 90% of the player base dropped off after like a month.
And then they just like drop it.
They were like, where'd everybody go? We gave you the content.
Yeah.
So I'm just skeptical.
Yeah.
I want it to be good, but I've literally been burned by them twice.
You have
games
been.
in a row.
I'm gonna give you the headset, by the way, so that you can hear Sasha for a moment while I set up the rest, and I'll let Duck step in.
What are you setting up? What are you doing?
Well, I'm just gonna set it up so that you can hear, and so that you can be mic'd. I'll just change our mics. You wear the kitty ears.
The cans are on.
There, now you can hear glorious sound. You don't need to guess.
Yes, just trying to read the screen.
This lip read, you know, it's like I can figure it out. So, what have you been? What of your half have you been keeping up with?
Incredible Hulk. I'm still enjoying it. It's more of a comfort food comic though than it was. I'd say earlier on it was like I have to read this at the beginning of my pile whenever it came out week, but now it's kind of like I was considering dropping it because it's still really good, but it's like I'm kind of getting to it last on my pile. But then every time I read it, I'm like, it's still so good.
It's like, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I know if I drop it, I'm gonna miss it. You know, like it's still really fun. So I mean, and then I think it's coming to a close soon because they just announced a new title, The Infernal Hulk, which is it plays into the story where we're heading right now. So it's like, okay, we're getting to like the end game situation. And then speaking of end game, I've been reading all the Ultimate stuff.
Yes.
Very excited for Ultimate Endgame. Excited to see where this goes. Don't know how I feel about that cover.
You have thoughts and feelings?
Yeah. Have you? You know which one I'm talking about? The
I think
A cover?
so. Yeah, I think so.
Like, the maker with his like unholy, unhinged jaw, like laughing as everyone spirals into him.
There's so much typing. I'm trying to like see if I can pull stuff up. Yeah, this one. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, just like a snake man.
Yeah, I'll share it. This one, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's like I kind of like it for the horrific aspect of it, but I almost kind of wish like it was like a poster on its own or something. Like,
Yeah, and I really like
it
Mark
as
Brooks.
an image, you know?
Yeah, I really like Mark Brooks as well, but it's like I feel, I don't know, there's just something about it. I was like, oh, I don't know, it's just not clicking for me. I would 100% cosplay as that version of the Maker though. It's just like...
You have to cosplay as the Maker because now I have the Malice cosplay.
That's true. If she's gonna be Malice, then you gotta
be the
match.
Maker, and then I can be Malice.
Give me that. Yeah, just give me that like dome.
Gotta get the helmet.
That dome.
Yeah.
That big head like that.
And then I just need like black spandex.
Back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
cover my big brain. Oh my god, Alvin.
Alvin.
So yeah, other than that, what else? I got Exquisite Corpses I've been reading.
Yes,
and really,
I was talking
really
with Amanda about that earlier, that I had to take a break after issue 3 because it was a bit much for me.
It was a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I wasn't expecting it to go there, and I was like, oh my god. Liquid.
So it's like I need to be in a more even keel, you know, like I can handle like bad things happening to really innocent people to do it.
Don't worry, it doesn't get any easier in issue 4.
Oh great, I can't wait.
I just read yesterday. I will say this though, it's only 4 issues in, and I feel very invested in a lot of the characters. So I do have that anxiety of turning the page, thinking like, oh,
worrying, like, are they going to make it? Like, what's going to happen to them, kind of things.
So the pacing in that sense, I feel like, is very well done, and it's definitely picking up in terms of urgency, I guess.
I do like the basic setup that it's all taking place over this kind of one night. So like it does work for the fact that it's going to be so limited of a series, which I am enjoying about it. And like, are you collecting the cards? Are you on that card train? Are you getting the little baggy cards?
I got the first 3, but yesterday when I went to pick up issue 4, all the baggies were gone. So no Miss Carolina card for me.
Oh, maybe that's why, because I feel like that card is, you know.
How did you get a baggie?
Yeah, they were all out. No baggies.
Oh.
Yeah.
So by the time they got to us, I guess.
I got there pretty early too.
That's starting to happen more and more, I've noticed. Like when I go, like there's stuff that's missing. It happened to me recently with the Bad Moon Rising special, the Shade issue. Where so there was like a person there too, and they had a big pile, but they were putting some stuff back. So I was like low key hovering because I saw it there. I'm like, are they going to put it back? Like maybe. They did not put it back though. It's like no. It's right there.
Yeah, like
pass me that.
I know when we got there. Our shop opens at like 10 or 11, and we got there at like quarter after when Battle Beast came out. And they were like, all out of blind bags.
No blind bags.
No blind bags for you. They're all gone. We're like, what? We just wanted issue 1. They're like, oh, okay. We just wanted the preface. We just wanted to let you down easy if you were.
Yeah, like you wouldn't flip a table or anything.
And I noticed it for that one. I noticed it, for Exquisite Corpses. And I just feel like all the hustlers making their way out again. It's the 90s all over again. They want those sweet, sweet holographic covers.
Oh, Archon is asking what cards. Okay, so the bagged versions of the Exquisite Corpses come with a card because there's going to be a card game. There's going to be a game element to Exquisite Corpses.
Yes.
Like if everything.
All right, we're doing a transition.
You'll be able to play it.
You can take the ears off.
But what if I want the ears on?
You can't have both.
Can have
I'm
this.
sorry.
You can have both.
You can't do both. It doesn't work that way. The other thing we could do is we could use the splitter if we each want to have our own headset, because I do have the splitter.
Oh,
now.
But that's technology.
Switch it over. I can't hear Sasha again.
Yeah. Let me switch it over. Audio.
Oh, Alvin's finally settling. Yay.
Should be this one. All right, Sasha, say something.
Hello.
Hello. Here we go. Yeah, we're good.
So there's going to be a card game, and you get like the special edition cards in Yeah, the bagged.
So they're playing with that kind of collectability. They're doing the same thing with Justice League Unlimited. Like if you get it, there are cards, like there are little Justice League membership cards that they give you at the store if you get it, which are cute. They look exactly like they do in the comic itself. So for those who like the collectible aspect, they're playing with a couple of things there.
And I think you can like play a game with them at some point. I think they're gonna do a game.
The Justice League ones?
Oh, not the Justice League.
Yeah, they are for the yeah, we were just saying they are going to
Exquisite Corpses. Yeah, not for the Justice League ones. Those are just purely
because Tiny Onion is planning to be a multimedia type thing where they're going to do a bunch, like not just comics, but like other types of media stuff as well.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
And then they recently also
I love games, so I'm like, give it to me.
Just to go back on like the return of 90s level special editions and stuff, the Ultimate Endgame is going to also have blind bags.
Ah.
Oh my goodness.
And there are certain variants that you can only get through said blind bags.
Also, I
see.
So they're going the Labubu route.
Just noticed that Jen is in YouTube chat.
Yes, I saw Jen.
Hi, Jen. Late to the party.
So while I'm like, hey, comic companies get that bag, I'm also like, please stop.
Well, it's also because I see a lot of new people in the store when I go too who are new to some of this stuff. So it's like appealing to them. They're like, ooh, like what's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
Well, also because that gotcha kind of like gambling aspect too. Like, you know, people can't resist it.
Well, you gotta peddle it to kids as early as possible.
That's so true.
You could get this regular cover for $3.99, kid.
Or
you get the blind bag for $7.99. You might get something
and
special.
You could get a cover you hate, or
you could get the $3.99 cover.
Joker is asking which Jen, the Jen that we all know, which is Jen. Jen O'Day.
Jen, who
shows and Jen actually took my channel photos, like the cover photos.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
She's the one behind the camera on all of Amanda's vlogs.
Yeah, not Jen Sainage, the artist, who's also my friend.
Too many Jens.
Jen O'Day. I'm always like, I don't know, Jen. If you're still here, you can tell me how much I'm messing that up, but I'm trying.
That's why she left. He's like, oh,
yeah.
He's like, oh,
yeah.
Amanda can't say my name properly, but I try every time.
Is the Global Comics promo still active? Like on mine, like I have a code. It should be. Yeah. Like I just did one recently. It should be. If it's not, message and let me know because it should still work. So
what is the new comicsology that's happening again?
Oh yeah, what is happening with that? I haven't heard anything new. That's still going on?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Sasha?
The one that we were talking about last time with the one things that we were like kind of feels like NFTs.
Yeah, the one that was made by the people who did comicsology and also some people from Distillery.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, like I'm not sure. I signed up for the waitlist though, so I assume I will be getting an email at some point. I had sent the link to you too, Amanda.
Yeah, I also signed up for the waitlist, and that's why I was like, I haven't heard anything.
Well, I haven't signed up for the waitlist, so I got to sign up.
Yeah.
I like how we're like, will this be good? And then we're all like, let's all waitlist for it though, just to...
like I don't know, maybe it will be.
Well, I'm hopeful it will be, even though I do feel like the digital collector element of it could be like bad, but I'm also like, but it also could be cool. It also could be interesting.
This could be the future of comic book collecting. Like, how else am I going to display my shitty Frank Miller covers?
Oh my gosh.
Online?
We're going to have like a wall in the content house that will just be all Frank Miller.
Oh, and the wall, and it will just do that cycling thing where it goes through. Like...
We can have two walls. We can have the Frank Miller wall, and then we can have all of my Nightwing,
just Frank
Bruno
Miller.
Redondo covers.
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say like you were gonna make like a Nightwing butt cover out of Nightwing covers. You were gonna
or
like
that idea too. But yeah, like all of my Nightwing covers, I already was saying to Redondo online, I was like, I'm literally like already thinking of how I want to display them, and I really want like a whole wall that's just like all of yours and Tom Taylor's like Nightwing run. Like I've been collecting all of them. And he was like, that's so cool. I was like, I will be sick when I amass this. I will send you a picture so you guys can see.
We went to a comic store.
Nightwing butt cover?
Where was it? That was like
True.
On the border, near the border, and they had the Nightwing issue that's all like one fluid thing, and that was how you got to the bathroom. Was you followed Nightwing?
Yeah, when we were in Niagara Falls at that shop, that was so cool. Yeah, they just like took it all out of the comic and just had it all spread out.
That's really fun.
I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, yeah, where's the restroom? And they're like, oh, just follow Nightwing.
Just follow Nightwing. He'll take you there. He's a hero in all things, including helping you go to the bathroom.
Truly, not all heroes wear capes. So,
what else do we have? Do we have anything else cool?
Wonder
Woman, but I'm behind. No. And nothing in the bike.
Well, now that you're going to talk about Wonder Woman for a second.
Should we talk about Wonder Woman for a second?
Why not?
Have you heard the
This sounds very weird with my gloves. Can you guys hear this?
The attempted forced controversy, I believe. I don't want to misrepresent who said it, but it was an online outlet.
Okay.
And they made an article that was like how Wonder Woman having a daughter is like de-gayifying her.
No, I did not see that.
Oh,
I am out.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy, that discourse. Also, I like how Jen says, Amanda, we need to practice more. Yeah, we'll practice more. We're still working on it. It's a work in progress. I feel like I do too much. That's the problem. I need to like relax, but then I get in my head and then I'm like, I need to do more. But I think I need to do less. I have a hard time
with a lot of articles these days because like sometimes I'm always asking the question of like, is this genuine or is this rage bait and an attempt to get a response? Like, is this a genuine opinion or a rage bait opinion? And like sometimes I have a hard time discerning like which is which these days.
Is this real or is this just people trying to create conversation here? Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I just looked it up to double check. I am not going to specify which one it was, just because I don't think the article deserves clicks. Because I gave it a read and I thought, wow, you don't read comics.
Yeah, I like Jamie Lamey what they're saying as well. Gay people have kids too. What a bunch of weebs. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. I was like, but what? I was like, but gay people can have kids. Like that happens all the time. I was like, also like Diana literally made her baby out of clay. So, or well, sand, but same vibes. So I was like, it literally is like, I mean, sure, like not to say Steve isn't involved in this. He is, but that's pretty like, I don't know. That feels pretty like anyone could do that. So like, it doesn't really inform as to what your preferences are per se.
I just think that that's such a,
there's such a weird hill to die on.
Really interesting discussions you can have about, you know, Wonder Woman becoming
a mom.
And I just feel like that's one of the least interesting ones. So
I agree.
I would say also that if you read Wonder Woman by Tom King, there is an arc where she's stuck in a false reality, like the for the man who has everything style. But like a dark version of that where she's like a housewife to Steve Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
Was never Wonder Woman. And so it's like he's the one who makes her feel like Wonder Woman. And it's like this whole idea of like keeping her down.
Yeah.
And not giving her autonomy. And the whole idea of that arc is her having to break out and prove that like she is better than that.
Well, and I like that even in her mind, like Steve was kind of the one that helps her break through it.
You see, there's something there though that's why I didn't like that arc with that kind of phrasing, like is better than that, like the automatic placement of like that kind of lifestyle as negative, which I was just kind of like, and it was also
which again, like that's a whole other conversation. But I'm just saying that like in terms of like trying to then say, but then she had a daughter and then now she's back in the kitchen. I was like, no, it's not.
But I think that is kind of part of it, right? Because it's like the whole idea of like this idea of being a homemaker is being kind of demonized in Wonder Woman's psyche, being used against her. But then the whole idea is that like she can be a mom and she can kind of like have that role, but it doesn't have to limit her in any other way. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't take away from you. It's just a path.
But the point I was trying to make too is that Lizzie comes out of that arc of like all the things that Wonder Woman learned from that whole experience. So it's like, it's neither good nor bad. It's like, it was like a learning experience to get to that point of being like, yeah, maybe I can be a mom. And it's like to dismiss that entire thing as well and just be like, this is the worst thing they ever could have done to Diana. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you see, and that's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like I have a hard time with the stuff I read online now with ascertaining. And it makes me sad because I'm just like, there are so many really interesting discussions to be had. And like, sometimes I'm like, if I take my time and I engage with it, am I engaging with a real thing or am I, you know?
And that was ultimately where I was going to go with my point is that whole thing really revitalized in my brain how it's like, I just want to go online and talk to people about comics and enjoy things. But it's like every subreddit is at this point like you got to wade through so many bad posts just to find one actual.
Oh,
like,
it's so
discussion.
true. It's so
And
true.
It's a lot of echo chamber mentality that I'm just like, I just want to talk about comics, guys. Like,
Otto was asking with a highlighted comment. Also, thank you for the highlighted comments, by the way, guys. I am reading all of them, although I'm just calling out the ones that like kind of fit. But Otto was saying, is there a YouTube creator's tip or something that tells you to make little mistakes in your information to get people to comment corrections to help with the algorithm? I've been seeing it a lot lately. Some people will do that. It's not a thing that I would recommend you do.
It's not a creator tip. It's just something that creators have discovered. Yeah. And it was discovered initially accidentally by people genuinely making mistakes. Like you would be like, oh no, I said something wrong. And then like a billion people come and are like, you said this thing wrong. And then it's like some people notice that, hey, if you do this, you'll get this kind of engagement. And so then some people will use it as a way to boost because it's a very easy way because most people don't look at comments to see if somebody's already commented something. So it's really easy to just make a mistake. And it's really difficult then because then like sometimes the person genuinely did just make a mistake, you know?
Yeah.
But there are people who are making mistakes on purpose. Or
well, I would say
you know,
it has to do with the engagement though that you'll see from a creator where you can kind of try to discern if that's genuine. Obviously it's hard to do and this isn't it's not a one size fits all because every person is different. But I mean like I think like when I make a mistake, for example, I personally would I try to read my comments as much as I can, as much as time allows me. And when I notice someone bring something up, I do try to respond to it with like like that's a good point, or like I missed that, or you know, or like, oh, like I was coming at it from this, so I didn't realize whatever it is to kind of respond to what they're saying. And people I think that do it just for the engagement aren't the people that you're going to see in the comments as much because they don't care if you care.
Yeah, they don't care that you notice.
They don't care.
Not the point. The point of it was
not the point. The point is money and an algorithm and engagement. So they don't actually want to engage with you. They just want they want to farm.
They want you to engage with that.
That's right.
And that's why a lot of like rage bait channels get promoted is not because it's like it's such a popular thing. It's getting so much engagement that YouTube is like, people like this, so we're just
because the algorithm can't think. It's just like, oh, there's just it's programmed specifically within the first 2 hours that it's like if you get like a whole bunch of engagement, it's like, whoa, people are engaging with
people
this video.
Love this.
I think this is the thing that we've all also brought up before together, but that's also why I would encourage, you know, if you see something that's like that, if it's someone that's consistently making mistakes and you're concerned if they're maybe just doing that to farm engagement, don't watch their content. Don't look at their stuff. Tell YouTube you're not interested in their stuff. Don't engage, period. Don't click.
Then you won't see it anymore.
Don't go over it. You won't see it anymore. And what that tells YouTube is that you're not interested. When you give into rage baiting, you actually boost a video. Even if you're giving it a downvote, it boosts a video.
Yeah, even if you go on a video,
it's all like, engagement.
Hey, I hate you. Your content sucks. I'm like, awesome. Thanks.
Sweet. Thanks for the engagement.
You gave me a boost.
That's right. So, like, don't do that at all. Joker says, is Wonder Woman queer? I thought she was straight. It depends on what you're reading.
But for the most part, it's kind of established that
she does live on an island with only women.
Yes, growing up on an island with only women and going through puberty and all those feelings and stuff, and the only people around you are other women. It's kind of implied that she maybe dated some of those other Amazons. So
yeah, there are some series that delve more into it. Does Rucka go into more of like the whole idea of Wonder Woman? Potentially also being gay.
I'm pretty sure that was in Rucka's run.
I think it's Rucka, but I could be wrong. But I think if you wanted to like look up more of it, I think Rucka has covered some of it. But
it was New 52. It definitely wasn't that.
It's also that weird idea though of like when people are like, well, that person can't be gay because they're like with someone of the opposite gender, and I'm like, that's not how it works, you know.
Like, it can be more complex than that.
Yeah. As someone who sometimes gets, taken as straight presenting, I just whether I'm with a man or a woman, either way, I'm always queer in the sense that, I'm always bisexual. Whether I'm with anyone of any gender identity, I always identify as being queer. So same kind of vibe, I think, for Wonder Woman is how I've always interpreted her. And you guys know me, I'm not a big Steve and Diana fan. So although to me, I don't want Diana necessarily with anyone. I just like Diana by herself.
Are you one of those Steve haters who was trying to kill him off? They've been trying to kill Steve off for decades. Are you
I don't like Steve, but then like in Tom King's run, and then when they take Steve away, I was like, no, I kind of like him. Why did you do this to me?
Because now you can't have him. You're like, oh,
I felt betrayed. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you made me love him.
I just hate the
Curse you,
perpetual writing
king.
of Steve of being like, oh, we were meant to be together, Diana. Can't believe it didn't work out. I was like, you've been having the same conversation since like the 40s. Get over
it, Steve.
Download Hinge, like anything. My God.
There's other fish in the sea, Steve.
Like the worst was in U52 where they had that arc where he's just like sitting at home with like a beard, like watching TV with like empty beer cans everywhere. I was like, oh my, like buddy.
Yeah,
I understand she's dating Superman now, but like, get over it.
I feel like
well, I mean, that's hard. That is like, let him have some time.
When someone leaves you for Superman, yeah, it's like, oh, sheesh.
She's dating a coworker. It is what it
It
is.
I think the thing with the way that Steve was done here was that it just kind of gave me an appreciation for in their relationship what each person kind of brings to the table, and it made me once again it's like Steve a run. Bring?
Wow.
Well, wait, he the fact that oh my gosh, it's the fact that he's not necessarily a superhero that's part of the reason why that relationship works and sort of how King goes into it. It gave me an appreciation for the relationship that I did not have before. So I know there's a sound clip of me saying that I L word Steve Trevor. I'm not going to say it again in case you guys clip it again. One clip is enough.
You got clipped. Dang.
I got clipped. But it gave me a better appreciation for their relationship and for, just, I think Steve is a character and as a person. And then of course they were like, and now he's gone. I was like, oh my gosh, how dare you?
I mean, I'm not a huge Steve Trevor person, like for them having a relationship, like either, yeah. But unlike you, like I'm not a big Wonder Woman Superman person either. Like
I'm like, I like Diana just solo.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's not a character where I've seen a pairing where I'm like, yes, this, like, it's just that hasn't happened for me time of streaming. So for other characters it has, where I'm just like, yeah, this, like whether it's their canon pairing or not. Like it's like right now it's like Hal and Carol are a thing, and I'm like, can we stop? But that's just me.
Can I say the L word on its own? Yeah, love.
The worst one I would say was
Right. Thank you for the raid over on Twitch. Appreciate you.
After Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run ended, and they're like, we got to break up Hal and Carol. Who we got here? How about Kyle? He's not doing anything. Kyle and Carol. No one will see it coming.
People always. I did a video called Salacious Storylines, where I was talking about just like questionable like relationship things that they have done. I started with Jessie Quick having an affair with her mom's fiance.
Yes.
And so and like people brought up Kyle and Carol, and I'm just like, I don't know if we're jumping to Kyle and Carol quite yet.
But I mean, like, I feel like that's one of just like the most corporate like Dan Didio things ever. But like Kyle's had so many other really good relationships. He's had Ceramic. The Fridge. I
really like that one. Yeah. Alex. Her name is Alex.
Oh, Alex.
The Fridge.
But like his whole thing is like almost Peter Parker-esque, where he's got like so many iconic love stories. They don't always end great. What was it? Fire? Who is the?
I'm just okay. Are they trying to set him up with Odyssey right now? Like
who? Guy?
No, it's not. No, they're not putting him with Odyssey. Odyssey, they're putting with Connor. There we go. I'm remembering my Green Lantern pairings like at the moment that were going on.
Because wait, who was the one who cheated on Kyle by bringing her new guy over to his apartment while he was out? I think it was Fire, like the green Fire.
I don't remember him having a thing with Fire.
Who? Guy?
No, Kyle.
Kyle.
No, guys with ice.
Yeah, guys with ice.
Yeah.
So who's with Fire?
No, I just typed that in. I got Fire Department.
Jade?
No.
Jamie says Jade. Otto says Jade. Kyle and Jade says Chemdog.
Jade.
I like Kyle and Jade. I like Jade in general.
Yeah, that was great. But like I said, did not end well at all with Kyle coming home being like, hey, honey, I'm home. And she's in the shower with another guy in his apartment.
Is Jade in the new Heist? Is that the Heist series? Or no, is that Cheshire?
That's
Cheshire.
Cheshire and who is in that?
Cheshire and Cheetah.
Cheshire and Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that has a good ring to it too. Cheshire and Cheetah.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah, I like that as a team up.
No, Jade is in the JSA book, like because they're doing
Yes.
like, her obsidian, like all that stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Sharkshift is asking, did you hear about Superman? To you, Duck.
What did I hear about Superman? What do you do?
That's so vague. Like, did you?
I was like, did we hear what
What
about Superman?
We talking about his harem? Like, what's going on here?
You heard about his harem? That's some classic superhero stuff right there. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, I think you know someone, but really, all these guys have shady things behind them, just like Aquaman and the fish. We all know the truth.
Oh, he's getting exposed to new versions of Kryptonite.
Kryptonite Spectrum.
Yes.
I saw that
on the shelf, and then I looked at my wallet and I said, "Can't fit you in there, buddy. Not this week."
Not this week. But Sasha, are you checking out? Because actually, I think Sharkshift was asking this last time. I was saying, I don't know if you were asking me, Sharkshift, or if you were like, you should talk to Duck about it. And I was like, you know who we should really talk to about Superman? Sasha, because Sasha will be the most in the know of all of us. Because like I said, I'm crypto,
I reviewed it.
That's all.
I reviewed issue 1 of it.
Okay.
So, yeah. I really enjoyed it. It's a very like kind of, despite the fact that it's so kind of heady because it's Maxwell Prince who does like Ice Cream Man. So like some of the dialogue's kind of like, you know, a bit more verbose and the like purple prose as he's fond of.
And that is exactly why I was ready to buy it because I was
at its core, it's very much a throwback Kryptonite story to those old school Silver Age, like like Kryptonite happened and like it's affecting Superman.
Which
only this time he's testing it on himself. And like with Batman there, it's kind of like, you know, control to make sure it doesn't get kind of like
too crazy.
If I go crazy and start killing everyone on the planet,
I'm gonna need you to kill me, Batman.
Batman showed up with his kryptonite, like he had it with him. So
he's like, I'm prepared for anything, man.
Like, I'm ready.
I will be your safety net. Yeah.
It's also working through like it's trying to work through Superman's complicated relationships with Krypton. And this was something I didn't feel like I highlighted in the video enough because some people mentioned it in the comments. Not that I didn't highlight it, but they were bringing up that they don't feel that Krypton is Superman's home. And I'm like, no, the book is very clear about that. It's not.
It's like really,
It's like it's very clear that it's like Earth is what he views as his home, like Ma and Pa Kent, his parents. But it's also working through the fact that he does still have these complicated like thoughts about Krypton. Like he admires his parents from afar. He wishes he could have seen his planet. Krypton. Like he's heard that it's beautiful, and like the only things that he has of it are these pieces of it that come and just hurt him.
And his
so
that's all.
Nope. And then of course you have the Lex plot where like Lex is super mad that it's Clark testing it on himself and not him testing it on him. So like he's like, we need to get like this kryptonite.
He's like, we need to get him and we need to get that kryptonite so that I can be the one.
Yeah, he's like, it should have been me.
I don't think that Superman should be doing it himself.
Wait, just quick aside from that. Amanda read All-Star Superman.
I can imagine Lex also just being like,
recently,
why is Batman the control? I should be the control. Why didn't he call me?
And listen, you were reading it out loud and listening to Amanda read the Lex giving Clark the interview in prison chapter. It was so funny. Because every 2 seconds, Amanda's like, what is this? Why is this woman in a bondage gear? Who is this?
My goodness. I was like, Grant, please, what is happening?
And I want more of that Luthor. I want more of just like the pure,
that Luthor is so well done,
unadulterated hatred of everything Superman.
I really liked it.
I understand that you can't always keep that status quo, and they're having fun with him being kind of a good guy right now in Action Comics and in Superman.
Well, also, we have to acknowledge the fact
they flipped back at this point.
They flipped back, but now they need to team up that he's flipped back. So.
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
But also we have to deal with the fact that now that Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor in the DCU.
We need that sweet synergy.
Not even that synergy. It's just like we have to acknowledge now that, you know, we have sexy Lexi. So now that's going to probably change the character a bit because now he's kind of a hottie, even though he's crazy.
They already were doing that because he like they hunkified him up for him dating Mercy.
Yeah.
Now that him and Mercy are like a thing. So.
That was the thing where we were like hoping that Mercy was going to be in the movie. And at first I thought the engineer was going to be Mercy. And then I was like, oh no, that's the engineer. So that's
and then we have Eve. So
yeah, but I hope we get Mercy. I would love to see Mercy Graves in the DCU. I think that would be cool.
But yeah, so we're going back to the all the new Kryptonite and all that stuff.
Yes.
I just think that that's such a fun comic. Like that's something I'd read just on at any time on a whim. Like I'd definitely get that on a trade.
It's like it's a lot of fun, and of course it's Black Label, so it's kind of off doing its own thing. So far, I'm not sure why it's a Black Label book and not an Elseworlds book, except that they still have the Black Label as an imprint. Because like right now, it's not doing anything to justify what Black Label originally pitched itself as. Like,
Prince is at home smoking a cigarette, watching the stream, being like, "Wait until you see your shit."
I know he's like, "Hold on, I need to change everything. Halt the presses."
We got beige Kryptonite coming in. You're not gonna believe this.
Oh my gosh. How many types of Kryptonite can there be? Also, you know what's weird?
What?
We've got like all of the colorful spectrum of like the Lantern Corps, and then we have like all of these colors of Kryptonite. Do you think there'll ever be any
that's
kind
what some
of
people were saying. They're like, we need to combine them. We need to
We
bring them
could.
together, make it
colorful
all, like,
worlds could be one thing. Like it's you know what's weird to me that we like just keep discovering more Kryptonite. I always think that's strange.
That's bothering me.
Yeah, sorry, it's gonna fall at any time. It's because
You're
when you're
Amanda's holding this on her knees, and I can see it slowly
just tilting slowly,
just going more
tilting and tilting. Yeah, sorry, it's because my leg is on the exercise ball under the desk, so my entire chair keeps like rotating, and I'm just trying to hold myself in spot.
This is a table.
This is a table. This is a table. It's true.
Well, it's like the comics go in and out with Kryptonite about like using it and not using it. Because like never forget there was the whole Kryptonite no more thing where they made all the Kryptonite inert, and then there's that great panel where he eats some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, never forget, what was it, Forever Evil, when Ultraman snorts the Kryptonite?
Yes. That's my next crisis is Crisis on Earth 3. So there's the great panel.
There you
with,
go.
Ultraman running with a giant hunk of Kryptonite. And he's like, it gave me Ultra Vision. And I saw this other Earth. So...
I love that so much. It's so goofy.
Jamie is correct. Jamie is also saying in Batman's rainbow of costumes. I know, get those in there.
Yes.
That could all be one thing. It's like we found out that all the colors in the DC universe are all part of some other bigger plot.
And then we can like bring back Rainbow Archer. Let's make Rainbow Raider a thing again. Like, let's just come on, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
And let's just go full 50s, 60s, and just Rainbow Gorilla versus the
Rainbow
Justice
Gorilla.
League.
That's
Rainbow
right.
Gorilla. Yep. It can all come down to Crazy Quilt, says Otto.
Yes.
Yes. That's the next crisis
like
we
this.
need. Crisis on Infinite Quilts.
DC, if you're watching, you should take some notes on this. This could be a good event.
I had the nerdiest moment earlier today. I was scrolling through some JLA JSA team up covers, and I identified the Ultra Humanite by the back of his head. And I was like, it's time to get off the internet.
You're like, I've gone too far. Even I must rein myself in. So here's the thing about these gloves. I really like these gloves. They fit me really well, but also they make me so sweaty. It's so crazy.
Well, yeah, because most people don't you have to wear like chalk or something like on the inside or like a powder?
Oh, to like stop you from sweating? Yeah, I should probably do that. I don't do that. I just sweat. But that sounds like a good tactic. I should take note, cosplayers. Put some powder maybe on the inside of your gloves. Yeah, I should do that so that I have more. So that it's absorbing some of the sweat.
Yeah, like not like you can wear them longer that way.
Yeah, it's like they're just sweaty.
You know, you're at home. You don't have to wear the gloves.
I know. I just wanted to put them on for the
it's part of it.
It's part of the look, you know. I don't have my belt right now because my belt's in the shop getting fixed up, and I don't know if I'm going to get it today.
Like,
so
how many opportunities do you get to wear gloves? You know, that
not a
isn't
lot.
So.
Only like really superhero cosplays are one of the best places where you get to wear gloves. And you got to be like, I'm going to wear a glove and no one's going to, other than the winter, no one's going to say like, you know, anything about it. You can just do it. And people will be like, yeah, you got to wear the gloves. And you're like, that's right. However, then you have to do things with gloves on, which is very difficult. It's not these. If you were a superhero, I'm going to tell you right now, unless you had like gloves that had like grip or something, so you like get a good grip on something if you're doing something, why would you ever wear gloves? I don't understand.
Use them a lot, you get used to it.
Yeah, but you can't feel anything on your hands. But I guess it's protected.
That's probably
you don't want to feel things on your hands.
Yeah, it's an advantage.
But if you had to like
when you gotta get the
type
blood
on
off,
your phone,
you know, you don't want to get
those
that
superheroes
in
can't do
cords.
that.
You gotta get it off the gloves.
Yeah, you gotta get it off the gloves.
Well, that's why they're all talking on
T-Spears
comms
to send text messages for me or something. I wonder if I could get one of those. I need a few of those T-Spears.
On the comms, so
on the comms, yeah, that's right. I'd just be like, hey, it's in my helmet, actually, probably.
Oracle, the comms have been compromised. We gotta shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut it all down. But we just got it back online. Shut it all down.
I gotta look at Joker's shoe.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually, and you know what's so funny though about Hush 2? We were talking about Batman Hush 2 earlier, and I was saying to Duck a while ago, I was like, it's just so sad because like now I'm like really excited. Like now I actually like want to know what happens. And now I got like invested. And now I'm just like, and now of course it's so delayed. And I'm like, and I knew it was gonna be. I knew
they
Hush
tried
2
to
was
hype it
gonna
up
be
like it
delayed.
wasn't going to be. They're like, nah, he's like months ahead.
This
It's not
is the one time that Jim Lee won't be, you know, causing
They're
any delays.
like all that image stuff,
We're on
forget
it.
it. It never happened. It's like we're going to be on time.
No.
And I'm like, no, of course we're not. And I can't even, like, it's one of those things that I'm like, it's fine. I'll wait. I'm not even, I expected it. But now I'm like, but now I'm just like, oh, but now I want to know. And especially when the last issue was just so lackluster. I'm like, you can't, I need something better than that.
That whole thing was so bad.
It was not good.
Did you read?
The shoe was better. I liked the shoe.
Sasha, on
I had to make a choice, and it was one of the things. You know, I was there, and I was like, I need to
make the cut.
I was like, I need to pick up these Flash issues that like the shade is in and stuff. So I need to make choices. So we're not getting this Hush thing.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
All I'll say is everything that's set up in the previous issue is undone in like 2 pages.
Nothing goes anywhere.
Nothing,
and I'm just confused. I'm just like, what was the point of this? But you know, maybe issue 4 like will make sense of it. Is that what we're waiting on? Issue 4 next?
It's not. This isn't the spoiler, but this is just like the example of it.
When is issue 4?
Tommy's got the knife to Damian, and he's like, "Tonight, one of your Robins is gonna die," and then Batman's like, "Not tonight, Oliver." And he throws the batarang, and it knocks the knife out of his hand. He's like, "Ah, foiled again!" To the Hush copter, and he flies away. And it's like, that's it. That's the end of that conflict. I was like, why was this done? Why did he show up in the first place?
I mean, no one knows.
You can tell that it was supposed to be on time. Well, obviously, all things are supposed to be on time, but it's like because the tie-in stuff was all like, is Robin gonna make it? And like all this kind of stuff. But then we live in an era where there are all these really easily accessible solicitations, like months in advance. Like the trade for Nightwing, the next volume had all of the stuff that's going to happen with the new like Nightwing, like for like protege and stuff. And they were just like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't have. You know?
Sorry, we're on number 4 for Hush 2. The 4th part of the story.
Yeah, 161. We got 161, 163. Those are the final 2 issues.
Right.
And we're not getting them till October.
We're not getting them till, well, wait, no, because the next one is the new run, right? Or no?
Well, yeah, because they chose.
No, new one is going to start before the old one ends.
Yes, the new one is starting in September because they decided not to delay it, which I think was a smart choice. And they're just gonna run with it.
Because you don't know how long it's really going to, let's be honest. We say October 15th, but will it be October 15th?
Look, I lived through the era of Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock.
That went on for what, like 3 years?
You know what?
That delay was so hardcore with the significance it was supposed to have versus the impact it had when it finally came out. What a time.
From issue 1 to issue 12, I moved 3 times.
I feel like the one thing we do have to give them some credit for, though, is that the first 3 issues were actually very timely. They did do monthly, and they were doing good. And then even when we got to the 4th part of the story, you know, only an extra month. That's not too bad. But it's like now that we're at the point where it's like probably October, I'm like maybe October. We'll see. Maybe the new year will be when we get the next one. I'm not sure. I'll wait for the art. I'll wait to find out what happens. But I just wish that like the last issue was less of a nothing burger than what it ended up being, because I'm like, this really feels like we're not building to anything right now. And I just want
that feeling may potentially increase when the new run starts. So
well, now we're going to be so far removed from it too, because we're going to be starting the new run. Even though I am also with you, I think it was smart of them to just be like, we're just going to start it. It's going.
Fine. We're ready. Like let's
like
do it.
You know, Batman Hush 2, as we've all kind of observed, while it is in continuity, it kind of feels like it lives in a totally different era than the continuity as well at the same time. So that's the whole. So I think that's, and I mean, I don't know. This might be the new Batman I might jump back in on.
Well, it's Fraction. So speaking of that, what do you think of this new lineup Sasha?
I'm interested to give it a shot. I mean, I'm a bit wary of how generic their promotion has been with their whole like it's a story that has all the things for everyone that you will enjoy from the past and the present and the future. And I'm just like, okay, like I'll check it out.
Sounds not specific.
However,
but I'm like, I'm always there to like check out a new thing. So I like him and his art a lot. So like that I always want to look at that. So
I mean, I could be completely off on this, but I also know that Matt Fraction hates editorial in all forms, which is why he left Marvel in the first place. So I think I would like to hope that they're being super vague because he dropped that storyboard on their desks and he's like, this is what's happening. And they're like, how the hell do we promote this? So, I mean, he did probably one of my favorite Iron Man runs, which was started with the 5 Nightmares of Tony Stark and went into, what was it, Stark Resilient? And that whole thing, I thought the whole thing was great. His backhanded commentary on all the things that Tony did during Civil War and him literally wiping Tony's brain and then resetting him to the before times, I thought was fantastic. I liked his interpretation of the Mandarin in that run. I loved his Uncanny Avengers stuff. I loved his Uncanny X-Force. And so, I mean, with all of that pedigree, I also loved his creator-owned stuff. I thought that was all really compelling in its own right. So him coming to Batman, I understand Batman is like flagship character, so there's probably going to be a lot of leash tugging and hand holding to be like, no, Bruce can't be in a poly relationship in this one. What are you talking about, Matt?
No one can ever be in a poly relationship.
We can't have the bat penis on the first issue.
Oh my gosh.
Not again, Matt.
Not again.
Not again.
But I am excited to hopefully see something different done, because as much as I have liked the last couple runs of Batman, I felt they've all been super by the numbers. Like,
yeah,
really
that's fair. Like nothing is really like going like to try to redefine anything or do anything too radical.
I'm hoping that the fun energy continues. I've noticed like more so at DC than Marvel at the moment. They're really leaning into a lot of like playing with how much history they have, and like a lot of love is being given to the type of storytelling from the Silver Age in terms of like the imagination and like just kind of out there-ness of it, but a bit more tempered with like contemporary like storytelling conventions. And so I'm like, I think you can do so much fun things with that for Batman, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the best example of that, especially even pertaining to Batman, is the recent World's Finest run.
Yes, yeah.
Where you can have kind of like, basically Darkseid's going to show up and eat the planet style stories, but they're very fun, and there's a lot of colorful characters, and there's a bunch of things that happen that you're like, that's wacky, but it's comics. Like when Kara has to carry Robin around under his arms because he doesn't have a bat plane, so she just flies him over the cities from place to place. Like little things like that. It's like you could do that with Batman while also maintaining, like, you know, Harvey Dent's gonna, you know, blow up the Capitol building again.
I also just want to say thank you to Black Phoenix for becoming for being a member for 15 months.
Hey,
oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
Also saying
hi, I'm so behind on my comics.
You are in good company, my friend. I feel like I'm always behind on my comics, but at the same time, it's just that there's so many comics.
Yes, but behind for a good reason. You know?
Behind because we're busy reading something else and being like, one day I'll catch up on these other things. Yeah, it's challenging. Oh no!
I just thought of another thing for my point.
Oh no! I was just gonna say it's also just challenging because there's so many things across the board, like between comics and everything else as well.
And speaking of, like, the new ASM run that just started, where I feel like it's gone back to just very fun Spider-Man stories, and there's a lot of dark stuff in the overarching plot that's happening, but for the most part, like him fighting Itsy Bitsy in the first arc, and Hobgoblin showing up, like all that stuff is like really kind of goofy, but they play it off seriously, so it's like, I mean, it's more
balanced.
Yeah,
like,
it's not you know the Zeb Wells run where it's like he's getting beaten to death in a subway tunnel by Tombstone, Tombstone's like, I'm gonna find out where your family lives. I'm gonna take everything from you. And then Paul shows up, and you're like, oh god. But yeah, if we can just get more of that right now, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Unfortunately, I do think that I need to head out soon.
You have appointments.
I have an appointment that I have to get to.
It's been fun talking.
Are you heading out?
I need to start if you're leaving, I gotta get my
you have
stuff
to
ready.
So there you go.
And I need to get ready to eventually go and collect the children. So
yes, the children.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, but this has been so fun, and we definitely should. We definitely should watch Crisis together because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, let's start with one and then see how
that goes, and then we can start planning. Maybe if we're feeling like this was doable, then we can try to plan for something that's a bit longer. Also, thank you for the hydrated atomic sorcery, and I just ate candy, so that's all I've eaten today. But it was great. So.
Well, thank you, everyone. And we will sign off and we'll be back again at some point. So
yes, we will be back again at some point. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for having me, Sasha, and for graciously hosting. This was so much fun. And if you guys are not, it's always a good time. And if you guys are not already following Sasha, make sure you go do that and check out, she's already on all the Kryptonite stuff. So like I was saying, that's a person that you would probably want to ask about those things because she knows about that. So definitely go check out Casually Comics.
Someone who's actually keeping up with more of the things that are like, actually currently being watched and those kind of things. Definitely check out Amanda because she's like on top of those things.
Thank you. Yes, we will be doing some Eyes of Wakanda. I'm going to be doing an Eyes of Wakanda review soon. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on that, it'll be coming. Games? And horror games. Yeah. There's like a lot of stuff happening. That's like when people come in and they're like, what about this thing? And I'm like, it's on my mind. I do too many things. But if you like too many things, that's where I come in. I do a lot of that. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone.